Caution, this is not a test. This is a message from the Tarkov emergency alert system. Serious threats have been identified in the area. Everyone is advised to seek shelter and stay away from windows. Lock your doors and protect yourself. Private, military contractors have been deployed and it is unsafe to travel to or near the Ultra Mall, Tarkov Sanatorium, Priozesk Natural Woods Reserve, Tarkov Industrial Port of Customs or the Federal State Reserve Agency base. Stand by for further information. Good luck and Godspeed. This is not a test.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to day 2 of the EU brackets. I am joined by the amazing Jeepo TV. What is going on, Jeepo?
What's happening, Fluffy? How are you today? I am very hyped for tonight. Very hyped. After watching last night, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I am super excited. We have an amazing show for you. We have a bunch of new competitors, some that a lot of us in the Tarkov community know, some new ones that I have never heard from, and I am excited to see what they bring to the table today.
Absolutely, and I think you're a little bit like me. You've done a little bit of research on these guys, watching them throughout the week. You could see the excitement getting a little bit built up in these guys as they got closer and closer to go day. And yeah, I'm really pumped for them. They're all very much hoping to come away with a win tonight.
Yep, I'm super excited. We did have one change in our brackets today. Takalis will not be joining us and will be replaced by one of the call-ups, Jezarg. So I'm excited to see what Jez comes up. I haven't actually been able to see anything. So I'm very excited to see what Jez is going to do.
Yeah, likewise. I know Takali's a little bit. Used to watch him quite a lot. So yeah, interested to see what Jez comes up with. Obviously, jumping into last minute can be quite a difficult thing to be a substitute, but that's why they're here. That's why they want to be subs. So now let's see if he can grab this opportunity. It's going to be a big day for him as well.
Yeah, and we never count subs out. I mean, we look at the NA from last month. We had a sub come in and make it through so much of that tournament, and this was somebody who wasn't initially going to be in it, got into it, and just absolutely dominated. So I'm excited to see what Jez can do today.
Absolutely. And so last night, we started off that EU bracket of Evasion with another exceptionally close game, just like the NA finish. We're talking, you know, single-digit point differences here, just like last time. So this is going to be another very high standard. I'm hoping that the EU bracket can hold our end up here.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I always love seeing. We all know that there's the friendly rivalry between EU and NA that always happens. I am always super excited to see what EU brings to the table versus NA. See the different play styles. See the different energy that both sides of the lake bring. So EU is always entertaining, especially last night. I mean, we had a couple of runs when I watched last night from the interchange where people were just naked, like they were so close to each other. And I can't wait to see what we have today. Now, yesterday's winner was Angry Almo TV. So we do have Angry moving on to the semifinals. And then as of right now, Raccoonzel is the semifinals, is our wild card. So I'm excited. What did you think of those two competitors yesterday, Jeepo?
I thought they both did very, very well. And as you say, it was so neck and neck. Now, obviously, Raccoon is the wild card and could get overtaken tonight, but 99 points on a wild card, that's damned impressive. That's going to take some doing for someone to beat. So I think there's a good opportunity there that Raccoon set a very, very high bar as a wild card. And as you said, you know, that interchange raid, another perfect interchange raid where we get to see, and this is why I love Evasion so much, we have those multiple perspectives. We can see just how close they are. We can feel the tension, and they might not even realize that they're just passing like ships in the night. So yeah, this is it's gonna be interesting tonight.
Well, let's get right into it with our first map. It is going to be Labs. This map is absolutely amazing. It is a great map to get all of the competitors warmed up. It allows them to kind of shake the cobwebs off, get a little loosey-goosey. So what they're going to do is they're going to spawn into an offline raid. They are going to score the highest amount of XP with the PvE settings below, and they have to extract before 15 minutes. Now, remember, the battle mods are keeping track of their time. It is going to be a little bit different for each one depending on when they get in. So we're going to hop right into the action and see what's going on. All right, guys, let's do this.
Excellent. And I recommend, you know, all you guys watching, I know it's something I've certainly started to do, thanks to Sigma for the inspiration. But I do recommend you guys try and use these settings, run some offline labs yourselves, just to see what these guys are warming up with. So
and this is something that you said. This is something that you said you were doing to warm up a bit. Gaz is loaded in first. We are watching and listening in on Gaz right now. See what Gaz. Oh wow! Did you see Gaz's backpack?
Interesting. I highly recommend that you do bring a lot of ammo, a lot of grenades. There can be these guys are on hard and horde mode. There can be a lot of raiders, so you're gonna want a lot of freedom bullets to send their way.
Now, it does look like all of the other competitors have also loaded in, and it looks like Gaz is not waiting any time at all to run and hit those buttons, trying to get those raiders spawned in. Do we think that he's going to get that luck with the raider spawns? Because I know sometimes you hit buttons and raiders, for some reason, are on coffee break, and they just don't want to show up.
Yeah, absolutely. That can happen. It's a little unfortunate, but as you can see, he's already on his way to the next button, hitting it as well. He's going to run the map, I suspect, hit every button he can before finding a corner to hunker down on. So this is, see, Needy doing the same. Needy's already in a fight over there, so he's got some raiders right off the bat.
Needy looks like he will push straight up into the spawn saying, hey, I know this door is going to open. We're going to have raiders just pushing through here. I'm going to make this a choke point for myself and just hold them in there. I really like this idea. Do you think this is going to pay off really well for him?
I think it's a great shout. You know, he's rocking, what is that, a Vector? Of course it's a Vector. Everybody's rocking a Vector these days. And he's pushing in there. I think it's a smart way to go. You can secure that extra ammo if you wanted to. You can prevent them spawning when you're so close, and you can decide when to back off a little bit and let them spawn again. So it's
now Jez is getting absolutely destroyed. I hate to cut you off real quick, but Jez up in the top right is getting destroyed by a raider and just bleeding all over the place. I'm kind of worried about Jez, because we were talking about this before, where he wasn't having great offline raids earlier. Do you think
so
he's
I
a
spent
little
bit of
nervous?
I think so. We spent a little bit of time watching him and all the competitors a little bit earlier today as they warmed up. And he was a little bit nervous, but he has a great setup. He's got a lot of ammo with him. He just needs to relax into it a little bit. But I actually think that's why this offline labs raid is such a great first map. It allows you to concentrate on just getting your firing, get your shooting in point. Don't worry about other competitors right now.
Now, playing in
And
this
of course-
dark hall can be extremely dangerous.
It can,
Because, yeah.
you just can't see them very well. You know, he's got a torch. That's wonderful, and he will of course have his battle mod in chat with him. You know, giving him tips, telling him, you know, now's maybe a good time to back off, reload, just calm things down a little bit.
Now, for any NA people that may be watching, when Jeepo said torch, he's referring to the flashlight, because I know that can be confusing for some people.
I think you'll find this is the UK EU bracket now, so I'm gonna correct your English at every opportunity, Fluffy. Don't you worry.
Perfect. Please do. Please do.
I realize English is not a natural first language for an American, so.
No, not at all. We speak one, and that is just bad English.
So it looks like Jez's raiders are they're hyper aggressive, but they're all still alive. They're all killing. Dex seems like he's running around in the middle, killing things near manager's office, which is a bold strategy. There's a lot of angles you can take shots from, but he's diving off, breaking legs, not at all intimidated by that.
Doesn't need to worry about legs, just saying, hey, they'll repair themselves once I get out of this. Now, Dex is the only one of this group that has opted for the single shot weapon, going with an M1A with the Bravo sight with the PK06 on top. Now, do you think that's going to give him an advantage in this? Because we do know that head taps and getting those single shot headshots gives such a large experience bonus. Do you think he's at an advantage or a disadvantage using the semi-automatic weapon?
I mean, you could argue both ways. I think using it, if you're confident with it, which he certainly seems to be, then, you know, if you can take that extra portion of a second to line up the headshot, that's the way. A Vector, of course, has such low recoil that you'll probably be fine over those medium ranges as well. I think it's important that you do get the headshot and start off strong here. Getting that maximum XP, touching all the dead bodies you can to get the search points, massively important.
And that's something I haven't really noticed yet is I think Needy has been the only person I've really noticed hitting a lot of the bodies, touching them for that experience bonus that they do get from that. Dex, I haven't really seen him touch any bodies. Neither have I seen Gaz or Jez do the same thing.
No raiders. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, this could be the standard Rat versus Chad, right? This could be that argument that we see every game, which is, you know, the Chads run in and they kill everything, but they don't necessarily get all the objectives done in the most efficient way. So he's going to kill everything, but he's not touching the bodies, and of course that does give you extra points, which is what this game is all about right now. So this could be interesting.
Now, we do hear Dex talking to his battle mod. He is having some issues finding raiders. He's just not finding anything to kill. And that is something that can happen on this map. We're going to go ahead and listen in on Needy.
As he sits silently, not killing things. So timing is everything.
He's doing
right?
exactly.
From now, please.
So he's asking his mod for updates on time. There you go. Excellent. We like that. He's running around. Is that a P90? I can't really tell. He's wearing what looks like a killer helmet, or an Alton, sorry, which of course has lower visibility. But I think you're a smart man if you bring an Alton into labs for this. It certainly seems to be the play.
Yeah, because we know that a lot of times raiders don't have the best ammo in their gun. Yeah, they may have M855A1. A lot of times they're using RIP ammo, or they're using Luger or something like that in their high fire weapons, which is going to be a lot of flesh damage. So having an Alton, if they do happen to pop you in the head, will save you. So I think that's a very good choice by Needy.
So let me ask you a question, Fluffy. Would you wear a slick for this, or would you wear something like a Gen 4 full? And the reason I ask is if you said, you know, you might get hit by warmage in the arms, that's really going to hurt if you're wearing a slick. What's your play here?
I definitely think using a Gen 4 full is going to be the way to go because, like I said, they're not using the best ammos. Raiders very rarely have amazing ammo. So when they hit across it, it's not going to do a lot of armor damage. You're not going to lose a lot of points, and your arms will be saved so that way you can keep fighting them and you don't have that flinch effect happening so much.
I would love to see chat's take on this as well. Iron Fist, Slick is out of bounds. Oh, no tier 6 on this map. Of course.
That's right. No tier 6. Yeah, no tier 6. That's right. No Slicks. But a lot of people are going to run Killa for this.
Yeah, I think I would certainly go with the extra arm. I know that the argument is there to be made that just covering your vitals, your chest, is more important. But with the Warmage and the Rip ammo, I don't know.
Guys is just getting into it right now, shooting people through the door. Yeah, and speaking of Needy, as Sigma said in chat, Needy has been around the Tarkov community for a long time. He has been a long time battle mod. He battle modded for me during my tournaments. I know he's battle modded for Suddy. Oh, he's getting lit up, guys. Be careful. Do not peek that angle again. Maybe wrap around. And he's saying, no, I'm going to peek it again.
The re-peek with the Raider makes me nervous.
Something you never want to do is you never want to repeat. Jez is getting lit up, having 2 heavy bleeds, no arms. This is what we were talking about, that arm protection. And just having none now, so he has to deal with 2 blacked out arms, shaky hands while trying to shoot, using a CMS kit to repair. Absolutely amazing choice. Serve 12 takes a long time to use. CMS, you want to get that repaired as fast as possible and get right back into it.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of the CMS. I never use the serve kit. You just, the time difference alone and the fact that I can bring a splint, which is a much quicker fix for a broken limb, makes, for me, the CMS the preferred choice.
Gash is getting into it with Raiders at this door. One pushed back, going ahead and just getting angry and pushing through, shooting through that glass area. Double checking, making sure that he's got all the kills. Now he's checking the bodies. There we go. Get those extra bonus points.
There we go. And of course, Jazz still taking time to heal up. It's important here that he maximizes his health as quick as he can. I'm not sure if he had an ETG with him or a Propital. Looks like he might have used it now. He's had a number of heavy bleeds so far, so it's been a rough start for him. But he's still alive. He's still kicking. He's still getting points.
Risky.
Yep,
Don't kill me. Don't kill me.
Guys just yelling, don't kill me, as running for the risky plays across the open. That is an extremely dangerous place to run because a raider from across the way could instantly snap to you and kill you.
Well, we've all said a prayer to Nikita that the Raiders don't kill us like that, so I think we can all empathize with him a little bit there. But these are aggressive moves, particularly for an EU player, and I'll touch on this a few times tonight, just as you sort of highlighted at the top of the stream. There is a difference in playstyle I've noticed quite a lot between EU and NA as I play on both servers. So this will be quite interesting to see, because so far Gaz seems to be playing more of an aggressive NA style of game. We'll certainly keep an eye on that tonight. I'd love to hear what everybody else's opinion about this is as well.
Jez looks like he's all repaired. He's pushing up across this, getting confirmation from BattleMod that 4.5 minutes left. Remember, they need to get out before that time is up because they do only have 15 minutes in raid. But like you were saying, yeah, Gaz is definitely using the W method that we see so many NA players use. I have noticed, I've played with a couple of different people from EU. Oh, Jez, careful there. Ooh, running into a few raiders straight in that hallway.
Handled that very
beautiful
well,
picking up. Yeah. And just beautiful pickup right there. And like I was saying, I've played with a couple of guys from Liverpool and things like that. And that cheeky little guy just sitting over there hanging out, relaxing. He's like, I'll wait for you. He's just gonna rattle. I believe it's Lion says the crab walker over there in the corner.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. 3 minutes left for Jez. He's keeping a close eye on the timer that's left.
Now, this is interesting. Jez has not hit all of the extracts to activate Raiders, whereas we saw a lot of the other competitors just instantly run get every single extract activated to spawn as many raiders as they can. Do you think this is going to be beneficial for him? Do you think the game will say, hey, we need to keep spawning these raiders because he's delaying the button hits?
Perhaps. I mean, it's tough. I've had it before, in my experience, anecdotally, where, you know, you hit one button and you get absolutely swarmed. And then sometimes, you, as you said, you know, you might hit 3 or 4 buttons and not have many raiders at all. So I certainly think hitting it's a good idea. He's got time left. He might as well maximize his time. But there is always that potential that you're going to get outnumbered and outgunned in a corridor somewhere on labs. But I would hit it. I think he's going to be fine here. He's managing his ammunition very well. He's taking little breaks in between to make sure that he's healed up and he's ready to go. So I think he's going to do okay here. And Gaz is getting after it again up near Extract.
Gaz is definitely still in it, getting near this extract. Needy is also still picking up people right in that little tea room between the cafeteria and the main corridor, just lighting up raiders. We see a flashlight lighting up down at the end, or torch. And
there you go.
I will try my best to make this as I will get EU out of in me and say, hey, say these EU terms.
I don't know the French for torch, so I think we'll stick with English. Thank you. But yeah. It's interesting. Did Dex just go down? Oh, he did.
Oh, Dex did just get taken out, right arm, by a raider.
How many did he get there?
Oh, I didn't actually see the experience. Now, remember, their total experience is going to be minus the library bonus because we don't want people to have that advantage against other players that may not be focusing on the hideout that would have experience bonus with the hideout, with the library in the hideout. So, no, poor Dex.
I was exceptionally close to jinxing him and saying, so far, everybody's still alive. And I looked over and he was gone. So you can't blame me this time. But I think that was still a very good score. It looked like a good score. I didn't quite catch it, but I'm sure the battle mods will have and will get updated as soon as we get that. These could all be very impressive scores. Everybody seems to be getting some action here.
Ooh, Jez absolutely lighting up more raiders underneath right now. And like we've said before, this map isn't like, I think the most points that we've seen, and I believe that we saw this early in the NA was, I think the most points we saw was 7 points on this. If I'm not mistaken, nobody may have been 7 or 9.
Nobody wins on labs. This is just a really, really great warm-up. Needy out with a score of 87,000.
Wow. And that will be adjusted, chat, with the library. But we say that nobody wins off of this, but if you think about it, the finals in so many matches have been determined by 1 or 2 points. And imagine if they had stayed in and lived and gotten those 1 or 2 points in this battle. So this could be a determining factor late game.
Absolutely could be. Every point counts. 73,000 pretty much there for Gaz, an excellent score. 75,000 for Jez. So these are all high scores, up near that 100,000 sort of score. So we'll have a look at the overall scores here once we get updated on that. But that was a great first round. I think Fluffy, would you agree?
First run. I 100% agree. This was an absolutely amazing first run. These competitors came out, they showed what they had. Even with Dex being taken out by a raider, still had an amazing run. The head taps, everything. Something that I did see that I really liked was what Jez was doing, and I haven't seen a lot of other competitors do this. Jez was actually going up to the bodies, not just hitting them for the search experience, but was getting the loot experience for picking up stuff and then throwing it back down. And that's not something we see because it does take a little bit of time to do that. Do you think that was beneficial for him in the long run, Jeepo?
I think it was. If you're a player that's a little bit less comfortable dealing with raiders on hard difficulty, which, let's be honest, raiders are a little bit OP sometimes, then it might pay for you to take the extra second to concentrate on maximizing the points per kill than chasing new kills where you might just meet an untimely end. So I think that was a smart strategy. I think his score reflected it very well. And I think we should just be updated on those scores now as well. So let's go have a look.
Yep, it looks like Gaz is coming in with 6. Jez is also with 6. Dex being taken out, only racking up to 2 points there. And then we have our leader for the match, Needy Beach with 7 points. Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding.
Absolutely. These are good high scores. Dex, unfortunately, as you said, dying a little bit earlier on, so he couldn't maximize that. I wonder, had he been touching those bodies, would he have got an extra point or two as well? We'll never know. But that's an interesting thing to note. If you're a competitor watching this and you're playing tomorrow or next week, then have a think about what you would do to maximize that score. But these are, look, 1 point between the top 3, and hell, even 5 points between all 4, all to play for after an excellent first raid.
Yeah, absolutely amazing first raid. And I think it was one of those things too, where we heard Dex talking to his battle mod very early on saying, I'm not getting raiders. I don't see anything on the map. I don't know what to shoot. And unfortunately, his score did kind of reflect that. It did show that even though he was taken out by a raider, he was having some issues getting that momentum. And so much of this tournament, especially the format that Evasion has gone with now, so much of this tournament is based off of momentum. So we're going to see if, because of that lack of momentum in the first map, will that affect him going on? I'm very excited to see this.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, you know, a little bit of RNG there with the raider spawns, but it's about how you react to it. Do you do as Jez did, and do you maximize every kill that you do get those points while you can? If they're not spawning, do your best. You know, these are only a few points on the board. Some of these new maps coming up that we're going to hit here soon, there are, you know, many more points up for grabs if you have a good raid. So absolutely all to play for. But Needy will be smiling. I'm sure that he is leading right now. Of course, Needy being one of the battle mods. Interesting to watch him tonight. He is very nervous about being on the other side of the camera, as it were, this time. So we'll be watching that with a wry grin, I think, as well.
And speaking of battle mods, I would love to go ahead and shout out all of the amazing battle mods that we do have playing or helping our competitors today. Honestly, the competition could not go on without these folks. Absolutely spectacular. We have Boosh for Dag going ahead and battle modding for Jez. Preppy is Dex. Everybody knows Preppy. She's around everywhere. Frozen Tank is going to be Needy's. And then we have Epic Failure Dave going ahead with Jez.
And
I believe that's
never
correct.
has somebody been so aptly named as Epic Failure Dave. And actually, just speaking of competitors, we have Miss Liz, Miss Lizard. She's in chat there. We should all go and say hi. Say hi to her. Of course, our reigning NA champion after a few weeks ago, finishing up, taking it to the boys, winning. Very impressive score too, and a hell of a last round too. Hell of a last round. She held it and she won it. Very proud of her. So big shout out to her in chat as well, guys, for you watching. Say hi to Liz. But stay away from her servers because we know she's trouble. So go somewhere else.
Absolutely amazing competitor, holding down the NA championship, Miss Lizard. I mean, if you've seen her Taz runs with a thermal on labs, it is something to behold. And I did get all of that backwards. I read it wrong from what we have. I got every battle mod wrong with who they are battle modding for. So Boosh is actually doing it for gas. Yeah, we just, you know what, sometimes when we get things in Discord, they don't always line up right. So I did read it exceptionally wrong. Epic Failure is Needy's, Frozen is Dex, so, and Preppy is Jez. There we go. I got everybody right now. So hopefully we're good.
We'll put that in the performance review. Don't worry about it, Fluffy. As I said, English not being your first language is totally fine.
Oh, yeah, we can get away with that on NA. We all don't speak very well over in NA. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at our interchange rules. Jeepo, go ahead and take this away. Let everybody know what we're looking at here.
Absolutely. Interchange, guys, my favorite map, as most of you who watch will know, mall cops and robbers. So I'm going to read this out. Pay attention, and we'll see how our guys get on. So one of the PMCs will be a robber. The rest will be playing as mall cops. Mall cops are tasked with taking down the robber, whose goal it is, as a robber, to shoplift at least 200,000 rubles found in raid that they have to sell to fence and extract with. So whoever takes down the robber gets bonus points, but if the robber gets away with 200k plus in goods and extract, then they get the bonus points. PMCs will be sent their roles in a DM before the round, so nobody knows. We don't even know who's going to be who, so we don't know who's playing what role. They have 60 seconds to separate as a squad before the raid is declared hot, and killing each other is then allowed. So in terms of starting loadout, they can wear anything they want. They all must have a blackjack, and that's just simply so that they can't tell each other apart. They don't know that the robber would have the big backpack, for example. They can bring 2 stims max and 2 grenades max. As usual, no Reapers, no Flares, no T7s, no GLs or Mark 18s, and no run-throughs are allowed. And the points on the right-hand side, pay special attention to those. Scav kills are 1 point, PMC is 1 point, with a tag is 3 points, Killer is 5 points, Extraction is 5 points, and that bonus points are 10. So those bonus points, huge already. You really, really want to min-max your way through this to make sure you get that extract and that bonus. So, Fluffy, talk to me. What do you think is going to happen here? If you were a robber, how would you play this?
Well, I personally, as a robber, I would stay away from the inside of the mall as much as possible. There is no reason that I need to go and put myself into that kind of situation, especially with the amount and the type of loot that you can get from the outside stashes, from underneath. I mean, there are, I think, 37 weapon crates just underneath the Interchange Mall. I might be a little over exaggerating that number, but there's a lot. So there's no reason to put yourself into danger. And then if you know the game exceptionally well.
There's a certain video on YouTube by a certain Sigma, and I recommend everybody check out. I say this a lot. Check it out. It's a great video about looting and on Interchange, how much money you can make just by staying underground and staying away from the fight, which I think might be a smart strategy here for the robber. You don't need to pick a fight. Extracting and getting those bonus points are huge. So the guys have loaded in here. We're just jumped in. We've got the audio from Gaz in the top left right now. So as you can see, he is chatting his way straight in towards the mall. So I guess the first thing we need to figure out is who do we think is the robber and who is playing the mall cop?
100%, and this is always the fun thing for us as casters, is making that decision and the determination with you, the viewer, of who actually is the robber. Now, it does look like the spawn that they got doesn't really allow for a lot of spreading here, so they all kind of just have to stick to a direction and say, I'm going this way.
Absolutely, and it looks like we have some good separation here. Dex staying outside. Interesting. My theory is if you stay outside here, there's a higher chance that you are the robber. There's a lot of stashes that you can hit out here. And look, you get lucky, you find a slick or something high value in there, you could dip out pretty quick and get those bonus points. So my eyes on Dex here as being the robber so far. Jez, Gaz, both underground, but in different parts of the mall. And we just hear that the raid has just went hot, so they can kill each other from now.
And it definitely looks like Dex is going to be our robber, going ahead and doing exactly what we were just talking about, hitting those outside stashes. Now remember, this is 200k to Fence. We know that Fence does not like to give money for anything. He's extremely stingy with his money. So we'll see what the RNG is for Dex to get items out of these stashes. Going ahead and wrapping through Scavlands.
Absolutely, and we're just looking at
Jez already
here.
getting into it, losing a stomach and a leg, heavy bleed, nice pickup, grabbing that tag, moving before he has to heal himself. Did he get 2?
Is that 2? I'm not sure if he got 2 kills there with dog tags. He has a heavy bleed. I'd be a bit nervous about that, fixing it up. But he just...
and he goes down early. No, Jez.
No.
Looks like there was another one.
That was such a bold move, going straight into Techco area at the start of a raid. Such a bold move. That's exceptional. He got 2 player kills with dog tag, so he will get some points for that. But that's a rough start to the tournament there for Jez. He did well in his first offline raid, but this might be a little bit of a tough one for him.
Yeah, going out that early, really not great. Looks like we have Gaz over on the idea side, running back to the computers, thinking of where all the high-value loot may be. Now, you got to also remember, though, because it looks like he's going to go check computer rooms, things like that. Computer parts don't sell for a lot to Fence. So I don't know if that would be the play that I would make.
I would do my research before this round and see what Fence buys at a good price. But I'm just hearing as well, it was Needy that killed Jez, so we have our first contestant on contestant action. No Pornhub music, please. When I say that, but Needy coming away with the win. He picked up Jez's gear. I think he's gonna ditch that for him, like a good competitor. He's turning off the alarm here. He doesn't like the alarm, so I appreciate him doing that. Saves my old ears a little bit of abuse. But he's pushing upstairs, trying to get on that high ground, and it looks like Gaz is already upstairs at the top of Trend Escalator. So we're gonna have a few guys on top of the action here, while Dex is just running around outside, min-maxing those stashes. He could get very lucky and just leave this raid if he gets the points he needs.
Now, can we get confirmation from a battle mod, please? Because is Needy running his absolute favorite weapon, the ADAR with 855 in it, or did he go full hardcore and do a M4? It looks like an M4, I believe, from what I can tell there.
It is.
An M4
It is.
Yep, with 995, if I had to guess. We do know that Needy loves the ADAR with 855. He swears by it. I usually just think he's crazy, but that's my personal opinion.
I love the ADAR. I love the MDR. I love all of these. I mean, my personal favorite is still a 308 MDR, I think, but I haven't used it much this wipe. They're all starting to close in on the same location here. It looks like Needy's up top. It looks like Gaz is watching Pizza from Burger here, using that Voodoo inside interchange, which is very good. I think there's a chance these guys are going to run into each other soon if Needy pushes up here past Urban, it looks like he's at. So yeah, this is going to get a little bit interesting. Would you ditch the gear in your backpack if you're Needy? I think I would. I would like to move light on my feet here. I know it's expensive. It's free loot that you're leaving behind, but I think speed's important at this stage.
Well, especially for as a cop, I don't think taking the gear is necessarily a tactical advantage, because you do want to move as a cop. You don't want to be running out of stamina. You want to try to find this robber that has never gone into the mall yet, by the way. The robber has stayed outside the mall the entire time. All of these guys are thinking that they're going in, but I wouldn't mind what Needy is doing. Do we know how many points were left on Jez's armor? Having just a backup armor could really, really help. Now, we do have Gaz looking across, trying to check over there towards Kiba, trying to check all these high-value loot spawns. Needy's pushing up just a little bit, but neither one of them are getting aggressive here. They're both playing very safe, playing very far back.
Absolutely, and just while you say that, you know, they're both checking out those high value loot spots. They're both being a little bit cautious now, which is the right play. But Dex is having to come inside the mall. He's not underground. He's going to start hitting the stashes in here. He didn't find what he thinks is enough value outside, because of course it's Fence that we're selling this to. So he's just going to continue to pick up loot. I think he's going to probably end up having to come into the mall later on. So we have Gaz. They're gonna see each other down the hallway.
Yeah, Gaz and Jazz, Needy and Beach, they will be able to see each other. They could have. It looks like Gaz missed that. He's pushing around through the little zigzag area. Oh, going back.
I don't think it was Killer though.
So we're listening to sounds like we're listening to Needy here right now.
Right.
So
he's scabs until somebody shows up.
We have them both on. Excellent. So we can hear both audios right now. They're looking at each other. They don't realize it, but they're looking at each other from the two food stores.
Needy's got his eyes. Shoot him, Needy. Come on. Oh, what a beautiful headshot, Needy. Oh my God. One tap. Absolutely beautiful, Needy. Oh, chat, get some hype for that shot right now.
What a shot. What a shot. You know what? That's that ADAR. That's that ADAR training right there. That single shot, he waited. He wasn't going to spray. He waited till the guy was lined up perfectly, and he just led the shot enough. That was a great shot. The timing on all of those people just changing where they're looking. Perfect for Needy. Wonderful.
Is Needy getting shot at right now? I believe he's getting shot at from behind, coming over from the Burger King or the pizza place on the other side.
I think he is. He's not quite sure. He has a rough idea where it came from.
Got an idea going ahead and lighting up through that curtain.
So that store on the right has been my death more times than I care to admit. People hiding.
Oh, and Needy goes down. down.
Nice nade.
Oh my.
God damn it.
Everybody
I'm hoping
gone
one of
but
those was a
Dex.
rubber-
This could be
rubber.
huge for Dex if he can. Just a random PMC killing Needy. Now, if Dex can make the most of this here, he could potentially
GG's, boys.
have a massive score.
Dex leg being taken
gonna-
out. Going ahead and popping that
PMC, one
painkiller.
Got it.
Is it a
That was a
scab or a
great raid
player
from
that he's in?
Needy.
Must have been a competitor.
Oh! Dex
That's a
just got hit
competitor.
in the
That must
head.
be.
He is literally concussed right now. He is in it with somebody.
Helmet save lives. He's gonna pop that ETG. Sounded like fully automatic suppressed. Was it a vector perchance?
Oh!
Oop, there he is.
Did
he
he
land
did he
that?
drop him with that headshot? That little bird? Nope. Guys running and jumping. It's a PMC.
I think this is,
now this is something. Go ahead, Jeepo.
I was gonna say, I think the flank's what's smart here, and it's exactly what he's doing. He's going outside. He's gonna work around. This guy has sunglasses on, so he can see him a little bit in the fog. I think he's coming up against a vector, though. I'm not fully sure. I didn't hear it, but if this is a vector, you want to keep your range a little bit. Use the fact that you've got was that a HK he's using to try and pick this guy off. That helmet saves lives, chat.
It's unlucky.
I like that he brought a visor with him to, in case his visor gets damaged, he has a secondary backup visor. Going ahead and just repairing the leg, not worrying about the arm. He does have the EKG going, so that's why his health is coming up super, super fast. The problem is because that competitor or that other PMC moved towards the opening of the mall, he could have gone outside, he could have gone upstairs. There are so many hiding places that person now has the advantage over Dex. I think this is a great call from Dex to just say, hey, I don't need to take this engagement. So many players in Tarkov don't do what Dex is doing right now, saying, I know this is a bad engagement. There's zero reason that I need to keep pushing this. And him being the robber, I think this is a great call.
Absolutely. He has range here that he can use against this guy, but as you say, this is not a fight he needs to take. His priority right now to win this competition is to survive and get the extract points and to get 200 grand's worth of found in raid gear. So his priority is to live. If he takes this fight, there's a chance he could die. He doesn't know how many are down there. It's dark. The guy's already hit him once and messed him up. His helmet bounced around, so he was very lucky. And as you said, this is a lesson that you learn over time playing Tarkov. Don't take fights that you don't need to take if you've got a mission. And he's being very clever here.
I like the push around. He's going to a safer location underneath where he can loot. Going ahead and seeing a scav. I don't agree with this maneuver though right here. And this is a hard thing for a lot of players. When you're on a task, you have a tendency to want to kill all the time, no matter what. And we see this so many times when people are trying to complete tasks. If they would just let, say, the scav live and use the scav as an alarm system, that they end up shooting the scav and giving them position away. And I don't agree with Dex shooting that scav there.
Yeah, I can see your point. Scavs scupper flanks. You shoot the scav or the scav shoots you. Either way, we've pinpointed your location again. We kind of know which way you went. So if I'm that guy that was shooting at him and I'm hyper focused on getting this kill, I'm backing off underground and I'm going around by lower trend escalator to cut off Dex here. So there is still a chance that he could run into this boy depending on how aggressive he is. However, it did look like Dex might have tapped him on the helmet as well. So there's a good chance that that guy might be medding up and recovering just as much. We're about to find out. He desperately needs more loot. He does not have enough in his backpack to get 200,000 rubles. So he needs to push in and get more gear.
Yeah, and him pushing back towards this direction, I find this a very aggressive play that I don't think he needs to be taking this kind of risk. He's already been through this portion. There are a lot of crates on the back side of the mall underneath where he could play it a lot safer, that he's got a wall that protects him. So him pushing up here looking for this, I feel like this is a lot of what happens is the Chad mentality comes out of people, as we say, and they just keep looking for the fight when it's like, no, you have a task. You have a specific goal that you need to complete. Is there any reason to do this? And him doing the bunny hop and jumping and making all this noise as the robber, I'm worried right now. I'm a little worried.
I think had it been me, my play might have been there was a scav at power. We know that power is safe because the scav will be dead otherwise. Maybe we kill that scav, sure, but I continue round to the ramps and go up in the back of Goshen. Get inside the mall from a totally different direction where that guy cannot cut you off. And you can start to feel out your new surrounding area. You can start to pick up loot in the back of Goshen. Maybe instead of Goshen, you stay up those ramps and go to the back of Ollie. You start pulling out things like filters. You start pulling out nuts and bolts. Of course, not worth much to fence, but we need to fill that backpack with something either way.
Not gonna lie.
I mean, he's carrying a lot of weight on him, that excess weight. He has a hand drill. A hand drill to fence is not much. I also noticed he's not hitting a lot of crates, and I almost wonder, is this lack of knowledge on the map about where loot is? Because we do get so many. Oh, shotgun scav, you do not want to let him live. Losing an arm. Go ahead and drop him. Get that heavy bleed under control. That is worse. That is the scariest thing in this game is shotgun scav.
Absolutely, and he didn't have his hemostat keybound, so he didn't. So he didn't have a hemostat keybound. He just fixed that right now, but of course he's already taken his EKG, so he won't be able to passively heal here. And EKGs absolutely drain you of liquids and energy, so we need to keep a little eye on that. I'm not sure if he's paying attention to that just yet. We did just hear him say he looks like he's fine on both of those right now. We did hear him just say he's a little bit scared to push into the mall right now. So it's gonna be interesting because he's running out of time. I think he's gonna have to make the play. He's gonna have to go in and start looting. And as you said, you know, we're talking about ratios here. We're talking about value per square for fence, and a lot of the stuff in his backpack is not high value right now.
Yep. And I'm absolutely amazed that we still have so many players like don't exactly what Bush is saying in chat. So many players don't bind their meds. And I've never understood that, especially when I watch somebody and they just right click everything or they drag everything. And if you just hover over it and you press the number that you want it to be on, it binds it. And it's very interesting to me how many players we see that just still don't do this, or they drag everything over.
Yeah, I see people dragging all the time, and for some reason it hurts my sensibilities. I hover over it, click your number on your keyboard. I have to have them in a certain order because it's muscle memory. I don't even think. If I need to stop a bleed, I know to hit number 7. That's just how my brain works, and my brain doesn't work that good. So they have to be on the same numbers at all times. But he's upstairs now. He's in the back of Ollie. He's picking up some gas. It looks like some propane tanks. So we're going to keep running around here. Maybe he can find some filters. But of course, I'm used to blue filters costing 200 grand right now on the flea market. I have no idea what a blue filter costs for fence. Do you, chat? Because I don't know how much research these guys have done.
Yeah, filters are one of those things where they're going for $1 billion on the flea market, but to fence, they're not that much. I do know that has been at least 2 or 3 surgeries that he's done on his body. I feel like he's putting himself into a lot of situations that are just very dangerous as the robber. And pushing up here, he missed a lot of loot underneath, a lot of crates, and this is an extremely high trafficked area because of those water filters. He's got to worry about player scavs. He's got to worry about players. There is so much danger inside of this one area on interchange, and I'm nervous for him.
Absolutely, and I mean, you know, we're in the domain now of the ratty player scav on interchange, and when I scav into interchange, this is exactly where I go, right here. I'm going in here, I'm seeing things that people have missed. I'm hiding in dark corners. I've got a shotgun, and I'm going to shoot you in the knees. So, you know, he needs to be careful here. The timing of being up here, maybe, is it more to your advantage as the robber to go in here early, or is it better to wait? Now, fortunately for him, the other PMCs are all dead, but he might not know that yet. We don't know if he knows that. But this is not his favorite map as well. This is not his favorite map. We don't know how much Dex runs, his favorite map being customs on interchange. So we don't know how much he knows about where the loot is. And I think we can kind of see a few times, as you said, he's ran past some of the loot crates, which are definitely worth hitting, the ones downstairs. There can be hidden gems in there.
Yep, he went ahead and reopened up that damaged arm with a light bleed, going ahead and cleaning that up. That is something that will happen if you are running and W keying around a lot while injured, and you have that red X up in the top left-hand corner. You will reopen those wounds until it is fully healed. So going ahead and tapping that. He makes me nervous because he hasn't healed up all of his body parts as he's running around, and he's being very loud, very W key warrior right now that we've seen so much in NA gameplay that we don't normally see a lot from the EU.
This is definitely some of the two of these competitors so far. Very NA style of gameplay, and that's not a negative, by the way. That's just an observation on how they tend to W key it around the map a little bit. European players, particularly the Germans, I've noticed, are a little bit slower, a little bit more precise about where they're going to be and how they're going to move. And if you watch them and you can speak German, then you'll hear them explain how they're going to go to an objective before they get there. So it's a little bit more thought out, less chasing shots. So far, Dex certainly is pushing this this W key. I bet it's worn down a little bit on his keyboard.
and we see how
looking for those
comfortable.
GPUs.
Looking for those GPUs that I don't actually believe spawn in computers anymore. I would love to get clarification from Nikita or from somebody at BSG, but I think that they removed GPUs out of the loot table, or they made them super rare for the PC loot table spawn. What I'm finding very interesting is Dex is very calm. He's very, very just relaxed in this competitive environment. And from what I can tell is he actually pursued a semi-professional career in competitive gaming before coming back to Tarkov, and you can see that here. The way that he's being competitive and the way he's calm while being competitive is one of those key staples of a competitive gamer.
Absolutely. And, I competed last year in Evasion. I know what it's like to be sort of in the moment. You sort of preemptively apologize to chat and say, sorry, guys, I'm not going to be able to talk to you as much as normal because I'm going to be trying to win this thing. And you can see he's fully concentrating on what he's doing here. He's hitting these shots. You can tell that this man has certainly spent some time in and around the more professional end of things. Very, very calm. It's interesting though, because like I said, I don't think maybe Interchange is his favorite map. There are still GPUs on the loot table for inside of computers. It's just rare.
Ooh, picking up a PMC that was just hanging out at that corner, clearing it out, making sure there's not a secondary one.
Timing on that question though. Hey,
good flick on that guy. That was great. That was fast.
Was that an extra?
As you can see as well, I love how he pushes through the contact, making sure there's nobody hiding in the darkness behind him before he thinks about grabbing that dog tag or healing up his chest. I wonder just what state his slick's in right now. Oh, it's not good. It's not good.
No. See, he needs to be exceptionally careful. He needs to be exceptionally careful about taking damage because that slick is not going to stop much else. And with so many scavs spawning in, that slick is pretty much just paper almost at this point. So let's see what this guy has. Maybe he can pick up something off of him to use instead. Looks like he's running. Oh, no, he's just running a 6B3TM that's been absolutely zeroed out. Nothing. Using a Saiga. It looks like he's using flechettes in that Saiga.
This seems like a a trash collector, just like Dex himself is right now. But you kind of hope with a kill like this that this guy's done all the looting for you, so you can pull something of value off the body. But mostly this doesn't look like it's worth a whole pile of money to fence right now, unfortunately.
Yeah. Does he have a pistol in his side slot? Oh, he does. He has a TT.
He does.
Is the TT worth more than the?
I mean, I'll be honest with you, Fluffy. The only pistol in the game worth a damn is the Makarov with the 84 round drum mag. So I don't really know.
I agree.
I'll have to bow to greater minds on which pistol's worth more. Onto that one. So we're coming up on 9 minutes left. So what do you do here? Your armor's in trouble. You've got potential 5 bonus points for extracting. He's got a full backpack, but do you push for better loot, or do you start thinking, you know what, dude, maybe the survival is important. Maybe I think about dipping out.
Looking at his loot, I'm worried right now. I'm very worried about what he has. And I don't know. He's got 8 minutes. I don't think he has enough. I'm super worried.
I kind of agree. I think he's picking up good points. He's killed player. He's killed some scavs. He's picking up points. He is picking up loot. He has a full backpack, but as you said, I don't think it's enough. And I absolutely love the chat are ribbing on your pronunciation of a Saiga shotgun. So that makes me feel wonderful as well. Thank you, chat. I feel like you've got my back here with this this North American trying to speak our beautiful language.
Look, it's a Saiga, okay? It's a Saiga shotgun, all right? Not a Sega, it's a Saiga. All right? There's a hold in there that you have to hold that middle part.
Oh, is this gonna be enough?
Not sure how I feel about that, chat. I'll let chat bring that one out themselves. There they go. As predicted. So we can hear Dex talking here. He's talking to himself a little bit, but he's also talking to his battle mod, which is Frozen Tank right now. Maybe sort of rhetorically asking the question, you know, do I go? I would go to Power Station here with 100%. I would go to Power Station for 2 reasons. I would have money with me no matter what. So if I need to extract and the car is there, that's one thing. But Power Station, I don't know about you, Fluffy, but I'm finding graphics cards down there quite regularly. I'm finding streamer loot items like beard oil, you know, things like that. They sell for a decent amount of money as a single slot item. I would check.
Really do.
He's maybe gonna check the office here in Ollie too. That's a smart play before he does
I
that.
don't know how much a drill.
Now,
goes
when he
for.
just checked his extracts, it did show that power is on already, I believe, right? The extract for Killa is green. Can I get
didn't
confirmation
catch
on that?
I hope so.
Now, and that means that somebody has already been to power. That may be a scab over there, so he does have to be aware of that. It's one of those situations here, though. Going to power is always dangerous, especially this late into the raid, because we do know that the scavs have respawned over there, and shotgun scavs are worse than snipers at this moment.
And of course, this slick is 18 points on it, so it's not really going to do much for him. But Blue in chat is confirming, and Queen as well. Thank you guys that yes, power is on currently.
Is very spongy.
Now, this is a situation, and this is one thing I always explain to people, and especially newer players, when they see all of these high-level players running M995, and then you see this situation with the M4 that he's running into. The reason, even though his marker was on point with those shots, you got to remember M995 has a huge negative impact on accuracy. It is one of the least accurate ammos, I think, behind the 366 AP round, which is a minus 15% accuracy. I think M995 has the second worst accuracy of any round in the game. And that's why, even though it looks like he's on.
There's a lot of limitations with 995. It has minus 10% accuracy, if I remember correctly. I mean, you mentioned 366 AP. The problem I have with that round, which is very good when it hits, it has a quite low muzzle velocity, so you need to learn how to lead moving targets quite well and on how to hold over. And if you're into your Kentucky windages, how to aim above your target at range. 995, obviously top tier, $18 off the traders per round. You're firing gold bullion at people. The problem you'll have is the damage is quite low. So often you'll find yourself having to put 3, 4, 5 rounds into a scav because you hit him in the arm and it doesn't do enough damage. There's a very strong point that you can argue that 855A1 might be the superior round as long as you're not running into slick Alton boys all day. I know I top load with 995, but I bring mostly 855A1. But this is, I think, Dex's favorite weapon in the game is a 416, so he knows what he's doing with this. But maybe for a tournament, is M61 perhaps the choice to go with? That's a rhetorical one. I don't know the answer for sure.
Yeah, I mean, for me, when I competed, I definitely ran, and this was before we had a lot of the ergo changes. M61 has always been my favorite round. That's why I'm super excited that we're getting the SCAR with the 7.62 variant of the SCAR coming in over the 5.56 variant. I just love this round. I think it's the most competitive round. I think for value to damage, it is one of the best rounds. I want to see other rounds become comparable to it, so that way we have a little bit more variety in this. But for me personally, even in a tournament situation where I may be going, and I know that I have 3 other competitors that are using a slick, that are using tier 6 and Altons possibly, I still personally think I would go 855 because that negative accuracy is the difference between 3 bullets hitting and 6 bullets hitting. And
Yeah,
I worry
it
about
is.
that.
It is up close at range. Yeah, I mean at range you should still make the shot because you should have time in theory. It's if you're up close, that extra pen of 995 into a face shield can do all the difference. That one round, we've all had it where you're like, I'm convinced if I hit him one more time, I would have got him. As you said with M61, you know, when you hit someone with it, they stay hit, which is great. But I like to see the scar. I don't know how much I'll use it. That gun is forever ruined for me because it looks like an UGG boot at the back end. So sorry to anybody that I've ruined the scar with. But if you can tell me that I can put 30 rounds of full auto M61 out of a scar, then maybe we'll be happy to give it a try. So Dex extracts with 2 minutes on the clock. So we're gonna check his XP here. Looks like he got that one USAC PMC kill, Tyrion 420. Nice. Nice, we like that. So a few points for picking up that dog tag as well, but of course we need to see how he makes money here with Fence. So what did you think, Fluffy? How do you think everybody, but mostly Dex, how do you think they did?
I honestly, you know, unfortunately, we did see Jez go out super early to Needy. Needy taking out 2 other competitors, which is actually good because Needy was the points leader. So taking out 2 of the other competitors that were super close to him in points very early allowed him to maybe stay in that second spot going into the next map. I'm very worried, though, about the loot that Dex got, about how much he's putting up for Fence. I mean, we have seen some huge numbers put up by the NA players during this. But what Dex grabbed, I don't know if it's going to be enough, and I'm worried.
I'm really interested to see how he did there. He did pick up some keys. You know, the keys are useful as well. They fit in your sick case. They don't take up any room in your backpack, so you have to factor that in. But again, Fence doesn't give much for any of these items. So I'm a little concerned that he might not have gotten enough. It's a tough one. You know, I've run interchange a lot. Do you go in straight away and risk the fight like Jez did and get killed at Techco, or do you take your time, go in late? There's so much loot on interchange. Going in late is not necessarily a bad call.
And that's exactly right, what you're saying, Jeepo. The problem is, you got to remember, though, Fence doesn't necessarily take every single key. There are specific keys that Fence will not take. And if he grabbed any of those keys, that's a lost slot for him. If he grabbed ammo, I mean, ammo is amazing to sell on the flea market, but ammo doesn't sell to anything for Fence. Fence doesn't care about ammo. Jeepo, I mean, in this situation, as Dex, are you worried, Jeepo, about what you got?
I'd be a little nervous. But I think he's over at Fence right now, so he's going to be selling everything right here. So we keep paying attention to what he gets. It looks like we're at 70, 80, 90. There's 100 grand and still climbing.
Oh, there he goes.
He's going to be okay. There we go. That found in red helmet, 50 grand coming in clutch for him as well.
Thank you, man.
That helmet really did help him. I mean, we look at that. He had 2 propane tanks that were 4 slots apiece that were only worth 5,000 defense. Only 5,000. So, and that hand drill was 24 for 6 slots. So you gotta think about it as a slotted item. Is that worth it per slot? It did pay out for him. And this is something that I tell a lot of competitors and a lot of people getting ready to do this, because you don't know if you are going to be the robber or not. Go to Fence, put some items up, say, hey, how much, you know, so you can have a ballpark of what's actually going to be valuable for you to grab. And I don't think enough competitors do that. And I'm giving this advice to the next competitors coming up tomorrow, coming up next week. Make sure that you are on this. Make sure you are looking at these values, because you don't know.
Absolutely. Great advice. Like, we all know what big money finding filters and fuel can be, but to Fence, that's not the case. So I'd be surprised if many people know what that's worth to him. But that was an absolutely great find. That helmet coming up clutch for him as well, just over 55k. So yeah, fantastic stuff.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. All right, guys, don't forget, if you have not, and you see right below me, we have this amazing Evasion Twitter giveaway. Quote, tweet, and leave a comment for a chance to win a standard EFT account. This ends Sunday night. I've seen some pretty amazing comments out there. I want to see what you guys bring to the table. This is absolutely beautiful. There is so much that can be done with this, and it is absolutely great. So I expect to see some really, really good stuff on this contest. And also, guys, if you have not gone over to the Evasion website, make sure you get over there and check that evasion.gg website. There is so much amazing stuff. They have things on here about the season 4 battles. They coming up. We've already gone through the NA. We're in the middle of the EU, and then the Oceania ones are coming up April 2nd through the 10th. It also gives you all of the information about each one of these competitions that they are running through. You can check out the competitive team. Go watch all of these people. I personally watch most of these people on a daily basis. I play with a lot of them, especially Suddy. Great guy. Every one of these are competitors that you can learn so much from in the Tarkov community. And also, they have an amazing streamer spotlight where they go through and they highlight different streamers every... I believe this is updated monthly or something like that. I will get confirmation and let you guys know, but they do update the streamer spotlight and highlight so many of the amazing Tarkov competitors. And last but not least, guys, evasion.gg/merch. Go check out their amazing merch that they have. The jerseys, I don't know if you guys saw Suddy's tweet. If you aren't following Suddy on Twitter, make sure you do. He tweeted out his jersey that he got while wearing it, and I believe he streamed with it. It looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. I might pick up one of these hats because I sometimes don't like doing my hair, and putting on a hat is way easier, and these hats look beautiful. Everything from the hoodies to the jerseys. Go check that out. Show them some love. Support this amazing organization. All right.
Absolutely.
Whew. Look at these scores, Cheapo.
Ooh, Dex. Okay, so we expected Dex to pull ahead a little bit with that because he was, of course, the only survivor. So he got bonus points for extract as well. He also gets the bonus points for hitting the 200k. So huge for him, moves from last place up into first with 28 points. Jez and Needy, 1 point separating them. So that's very, very close. And Gaz down there on 6. But of course, these are not big scores yet. We've only had 2 maps. There's definitely ways back for all of these guys. This is it's just starting to warm up a little bit. And it sounds like we're about to go to Woods on the next map. So, Fluffy, do you want to do the honors?
Yeah, Woods, not a cult. PMCs are tasked with placing Pesticide Mask at the marked circles, both marked circles, one in the new fishing area, one in the old marked circle in the middle of the woods over there by the sawmill. And they also have to go to the mountain bunker and place one in the cultist tunnel. If all 3 masks are placed and they extract, they earn bonus points. PMCs will, have 60 seconds to get away until it's hot. They can bring anything that they want. They do need the pestilence mask. They need their 2 stems and 2 grenades. Now, the 2 grenades thing is something that I find exceptionally interesting because that is a change to this season versus last season. Or the previous seasons, I should say, because we were only allowed flashbangs. Do you think, Jeepo, that having these grenades makes a big difference for you personally? What do you think?
I think so. I think people are becoming smarter with how they use grenades as people learn more and evolve in their Tarkov play. In a lot of games, people use grenades to get kills, and that's absolutely what you can do in Tarkov. But you'll see the really, really good players often using grenades to area denial. They use them to create confusion. The audio of a grenade dropping near you is almost certainly going to make you react and run away, and they're going to push through that grenade and kill you. Just because it's a grenade, you don't know if it's a VOG, you don't know if it's an M67. That has 4.5, 5 second timer that gives you the advantage in a one-on-one or in a squad fight where you can push aggressively. So I think having grenades now is huge and shows it gives the potential for really, really high level CQB battles and plays. I think it's a great change personally.
Yeah, and it's one of those situations for me too where you see so many times during high level play where the competitor or the person, whether it's a competitor or just somebody in your everyday games, they don't use grenades as lethal. They use grenades to force that player that they're trying to attack to move to a position that benefits them. So if they know that they're in a room, they're trying to push them out of the room. If they know that they're holding an angle, they're going to try to push them out of that angle. And that is something that is very unique now that we have 2 grenades, and seeing if these competitors use it in a more offensive manner or if they're using it in a more defensive manner. So I'm very excited to see how these competitors use it. So let's go ahead and look at the points, because this is something that's super interesting on this is the points. We've seen a lot of points on this map because of the way that this map plays out with the bonus objectives of putting down the mask and getting the bonus for extracting. I feel like that's super important to stay alive. Do you go and look for cultists at night, Jeepo? What do you think?
I would say no. I've had nothing but bad experiences, and Sigma can tell you about these with cultists. Of course, nobody's allowed thermals, and fighting cultists, thermals are the way to go. I think I steer clear of that as best I can. But of course, if they're here, they're here. You don't have much choice but to fight them, because you do have to go to all the marked locations on this map, which does increase massively the chance of running into another competitor. So
now,
big fan of this on Woods. I think this is going to be really interesting because I love nighttime battles.
Now we see something very interesting. We saw Suddy do this, what Needy is doing with the black and white night vision technique, using the post-effects filters to make this black and white. What do you think about this, Jeepo?
I'm not a big fan of doing this, if I'm fully honest. You know, I think it's not really it's not really how I like to run it. I run it the way it works in green, but at the same time, you know, there are colorblind options. There are things that you can do for people. So if this is better for your play, then I suppose get after it, get on it. But I think we just went live here, so the raid is now hot. So if they see each other, they can start shooting. And already it's difficult on this one to say where people are, because of course it's woods and everybody's surrounded by trees right now.
Yeah, Needy looks like he's over by spine, going ahead and go up. It looks like they did spawn over towards this direction. Needy spent a little bit of time hanging back, messing with his feathering, trying to get all of that taken care of so that way he can see properly, going ahead and going up into the mountain to drop that. I'm not a post-effects user at all. I don't ever... He's picking up a base, not a bad call. But I'm not a post-effects user. I don't like using post-effects in the game. I feel like the game has a atmosphere and an aesthetic that the developers put into place for a reason. And I like looking at that. So what about you, Jeepo? You like doing post-effects at all, or just on night vision? You stay away from it?
I do have post-effects on when I play, but I kind of wish that the developers never added the option. I liked very much when they blocked NVIDIA's little exploit where you could change the color of the game. I too like the sort of aesthetic of Tarkov. The gray is the muted color.
I hate to interrupt you real quick, Jeepo. We'll come right back to that. Gaz is absolutely getting destroyed. He got his chest is red and he's lost an arm. He's really getting... Is that Scav Boss that he's getting into it with?
This might be Scav Boss. He's very aggressively pushing down that hill if it is.
It definitely sounds like an SVD. Oh, lighting him up.
Got him, whoever it was. He needs to fix that chest quick.
Yeah, definitely don't want to lose the black your chest, because that means anything touches you, you die. You get a light bleed, anything, you will die from a blacked chest.
He needs to reload that MDR as well. He's sitting on an empty magazine, which gives me the heebie-jeebies.
And this is what we were talking about before. So this is one thing that I have tweeted out. I have suggested to BSG that I know that healing heals the most damaged body part first. And I have said I personally think that it should always go thorax, head, stomach, and then the most damaged body part. And that should be how it is. So I don't disagree with him selecting the med and going ahead and saying, hey, my chest is the most important, heal it right now. I can live losing everything else, but heal the chest right now.
Absolutely, I agree, and it's definitely something I recommend to players. If you're in a fight and you've just survived and you're a walking, walking corpse, make sure you prioritize what gets healed. Always hit that chest, hit that head first, and then the stomach, as you said, because it will often go for the arm. And let's be honest, the arm's important, but less important than stopping the bleed on the thorax. So definitely a good tip right there. But
so we're seeing some very.
Go ahead, Fluffy.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say it's very interesting seeing the different playstyles right now. Dex is still very much using that NA playstyle of running everywhere. Whereas we see Needy and Jez just walking, playing it very slow, playing it very methodical in everything that they're doing.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by Jez's playstyle. I quite like how slow he's moving here. It's very much more thought out. He's listening to what's going on around him, and I think he's coming up. It's hard for me to just catch where he is. Is he on the other side of the sawmill?
Yeah, it looks like he was at beach.
Near
he's
the
on
beach.
just the other side. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a chance here that depending on how long Gaz takes to get himself back and in this fight, there's a chance here that they could bump into each other as Jez sort of slowly moves in from the beach area.
All right, I think we're good to
So
go.
Gaz is going ahead and popping some more painkillers, healing himself up. Dex going ahead and getting his mask down over in that very dangerous area where those cultists do like to hang out on nighttime woods. So it looks like he's listening. He might hear something. He's taking shots at something. He needs to be exceptionally careful.
There. Yeah, of course, because as you said, we do have the cultists, but we also have other players that like to hang out in this area and ambush people who are farming for cultists. I think that was just a regular scav, though, so no cultists for him to worry about just yet. But yeah, this is certainly a high traffic area. He does need to be careful running on this beach where he is right now. If he takes a couple of steps to the right, the AI sniper will actually still shoot you, even though you're on this side of the river. So you do have to be careful when you're down near that water line.
Looks like Needy is flashing something. Is he into it with somebody?
He is. He's in the checkpoint area, it looks like. So he's near Mark Circle, a checkpoint in the middle of the map. We're listening to his audio right now. And Gaz will be able to hear those grenades going off because he's obviously still at the sawmill. It looks like Jez is moving around the airplane area. So let's see who Needy's in a fight with. This might be a scav, but it could also be a cultist. We don't know yet.
I'm very confused. I was going to say, I'm very confused about what's happening a lot. Gaz going ahead and picking up a M1, throwing that Reaper off of it, just going ahead and hiding that. Doesn't want a player scav to find that and be able to use that against them. Looks like somebody was taken out, but I'm very curious about their movement around the map and where they need to be versus where they are. I feel like they're playing, I feel like Gaz is playing Tarkov the way he would normally play it, and then he's thinking about his objectives secondary. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, to quote a famous movie character, survive is priority one, right? So don't run straight at the objectives. We do have 23.5 minutes left here, so I think the positioning's fine for now. You don't need to necessarily run and get these kills. Gaz is the perfect example. That player he killed was a thick boy. He did have thermals. He did have night vision as well. So, that's the caliber of player you have a chance of running in on. So maybe being a little bit more thought out is the play.
Needy's still getting into it, getting lit up. Ooh, dropping whoever that was.
Pushed that well. Let's see what that was. Was that another player? It was.
A PMC wearing Defender. Very nice.
Oh,
beautiful. Oh, he's got a teammate.
It's like a squad. Mm-hmm.
There it is. Needy just going ahead and spraying back and forth on that tree, trying to get them all. Can't tell if that was two or three, if that was one or two more.
It was very difficult to see. All we're looking at is muzzle flashes right there. Good movement.
I am glad
though,
the black and white. Yeah, great movement. I'm glad the black and white is working for him because it is not working for me. I can't tell what is happening on his screen, but he's doing an exceptional job of moving around the map, saying, okay, they know where I'm at. I don't want to heal in this point. In case I didn't drop them, there is zero reason for me to give that competitive edge. And this is something that players need to do a lot more, is they get into these situations and they continue to hold. They hold that position. And this is a great maneuver from Needy.
It is. Look, movement wins fights. We see that in Tarkov. We see that in other games where they're a little bit more drawn out in how these firefights go. He knew when to pull back. He knew when to move off to the side here. He's going to get those heals in as quick as he can. While he's healing, he's reloading magazines. He's doing all the things that he can do to maximize the time out of this fight. I'm assuming he must have killed that second player. I know I personally wouldn't be comfortably lying in a defilade and healing my arm if I thought there was a player nearby. So I'm assuming he got that kill, which is great. So nice work by him, because he kind of got dropped on there a little bit with that second one. He was on the body.
I do think that he's safe here, though, because he did move away from where that situation was, and he did go down into that crevice where he's almost, protected like a hot dog bun, and he's just down in there, and he's like, no, I'm okay here.
Hot dog bun.
I mean, he's a hot dog in the hot dog bun. He's safe. He's nice and cozy.
All right. I mean, you know what? I can see that. I can see that. As a Brit, that's a bit of a stretch for me, but I'll let it go. It's okay. It's okay. So we've just moved the audio over to Jez here. So Jez has been slowly but surely, consistently making his way around the map. He's over by the in the new expansion area of woods. It looks like he's gonna try and get that drop, or maybe he just did. Did he just drop his first Pestilli mask? But of course, we know Dex has already dropped his there as well. We didn't have any cultists here when Dex blew through this area. Now, can they still spawn if someone else has cleared the area?
Where you were.
Now, it doesn't like
we can hear the
Jez
battle mod as well.
Like Jez and Dex definitely passed each other because they both came from the same direction. Dex went past him, and it's one of those things. And this is another thing that we always tell competitors: make sure you know these maps. It's Needy's going down. He just got into it. I think that was another one over there. Needy going down. Oh no!
Otherwise. Oh wow.
Well, he was the sausage in that hot dog. It looked like he just didn't want to be. And it was a player.
Man.
It was a player.
Him out.
So he only got, am I seeing one kill there? It was one kill. As I said, I would not be comfortable without confirming that kill. I would confirm that kill before I pull back and start nonchalantly fixing my limbs in a bush. That's so unfortunate for Needy. That's huge.
See, and Needy definitely thought he had taken the second player out. He went back, he healed up. It was one of those situations where he had to then push up because he's like, well, I need my tag. I still need to go over to the circle to put down my mask. And he just got into it.
Absolutely. Like, you need to, particularly on woods, where at any point, even during the day, if you go prone on woods in the right spot with the grass, how it is right now, you cannot be seen. So when he wasn't sure if he won that fight, you throw those grenades, you put more fire into those spots, you flank off to like a 90-degree angle and come back at it. And once you're sure, then you can take time to relax and put that arm back on. Arm is not vital. So that's really unfortunate for Needy. He did so well there. I hope he got that Pestilli mask off when he was near the mark circle. I didn't catch if he did. Hopefully we can get the battle mods to confirm that soon.
Just even that second mask.
Yeah.
Yep. See Jez there going to that circle saying, oh, there is another mask here. Oh, now when you see another mask there, does that put you on high alert? Because it doesn't look like it's put him on high alert. It looks like he's still just going to power and W away from that location. Like, hey, that person might still be around.
I think it's given the heebie-jeebies. This is the fastest I've seen Jez run on this map. So I think seeing that Pestilli mask might have... Right? He's gone. He wants nothing to do with this bloody spot anymore. He's right off to the next one. So maybe, judging by the route he's taken, it looks like he might go for Sniper Hill next. Gaz, in the meantime, is performing major arts and crafts in our top left corner here. It looks like he was getting in amongst it.
No, he was not getting into it with anybody. He got into it with a rock. He decided to take a little goat jump and break both of his legs.
You know what? We've all been there. This F's in chat for his limbs.
Yes.
We've all done that. But it looks like he's got plenty of meds. He sort of he's gonna take his time up here. But of course, Jez is on the way to the next mark. So and it looks like Gaz is sitting up in Sturman's campsite. So they could potentially bump here.
Dex is taking a shot at Sniper Scav, which is right near Gaz. Gaz should have heard maybe the grunt or the pain. And then we have Jez also. All three, I think all three of them are pushing to this tower, to this point right now.
Interesting.
Oh,
Gaz,
no.
okay. Interesting.
The other one's on the
Taking off the NVGs, using the torch. Now, is that the play? There's an argument to be made that in a fight like this, where you know your competitors are all NVG'd up, do you take off your NVGs and use your flashlight? Oh, I said flashlight. Damn it.
You did. Welcome to America, buddy.
Oh boy.
In this situation, there's a point. There is always a time in conflict when you say, okay, I know that I'm fighting NVG people, but that's usually once you know you've engaged with somebody. Until you know that you've engaged with them, I don't agree with it, because you want to have the tactical advantage of being able to see everything around you. But once, say, if you're in close quarters and you know that they're both using NVGs, you're going to pop it off. Gaz and Jez are right, like,
they're beside each other.
Jez just needs to look right. I think if Jez looks right, he'll see Gaz, because Gaz is deciding to go down the backside of the mountain, and Jez won't see this. Dex is below them right now. Dex is right below them.
Slow walking. If Jez keeps moving the way he's moving, he's going to run right into Dex here. Getting that pre-med off while he can.
Oh, no.
I think there's a case.
No.
Oh, God. Where's Gaz
They're
going?
running into each other. Dex and Jez are going to meet face to face in just a moment, and Jez is not being quiet. He has changed his game plan of the slow and steady and is now Wing it. Oh, chat.
Oh boy. This is a great view for this. This is a great view for this. Let's have a little look at what's about to happen.
Jez should be able to hear these jumps. He just needs to look up.
I think he hears it. He hears it. He hears it. We can hear both audios right now.
Oh,
just play it slow, Jazz. Play it slow here. You have the advantage now. You know he's in the area. He does not know you are. Most players don't know how to get down the mountain on the other side. So you can get down the mountain on the other side, but most players don't know that. And let's see if Dex knows. If not, he's going to come right back down the hill towards Jez.
He's coming right back towards Jez. Okay, all right, Chad. Everybody on the edge of their seat. Oh no! What? Here he comes. Here he comes. This is the moment I turn the torch on and hit the NVGs off. Oh, Dex clicks so fast.
Holy shit! Oh man, what a flick shot from Dex.
That happened so. Oh my gosh!
Dex.
I'm bewildered by what just happened.
Me too. I would love to see a replay of that, because that was insane. Let's see chat get some clips of that for us. Definitely want to view that again. All the cards were stacked on Jez's side there. He had the advantage. He knew where he was coming from. But Dex with this insane flick.
And this is exactly what I was talking about, and this is what you were talking about with the torch earlier. Once Jez knew he had the advantage and he heard him, he should have popped his NVGs up, turned his flashlight on, and blinded Dex. So even if Dex did flick, because we saw the flick hit the stomach, or we saw it just kind of hit him chest straight to head because of the recoil, he would have been in a much better position. I know that I've watched Dex VODs as we were getting ready for this tournament. Dex has amazing point aim. He keeps his cursor, his gun directly at head. So when he goes for a flick spray, it is always across the face. And we saw that right there.
Absolutely. And what's interesting as well, we should certainly talk about here, is we are conditioned as gamers, particularly in other games, to shoot center mass in a lot of situations. You know, obviously CS:GO is a headshot game, but in a lot of games you shoot center mass, right? The recoil will take you up to their head, perhaps. But in this fight right here. Jez was on his knee. He was low. He was ready to go. That gives him better recoil control, of course. But because he was low, and all Dex could do was flick on him and spray and hope. Because he was low, his center mass shot hit him right in the face. Is the argument there to be made that you stay high, stay standing, and take that in the chest and hope that your armor takes it? I mean, you know, you shouldn't be getting flicked on there potentially anyway. But that was a great comeback from Dex. Well done on him. Unlucky for Jez. Just seeing the scores getting updated there for Jez as well. So he's up to now 17 points, it looks like. But yeah, this is a habit that I've had to try and break in Tarkov, which is when I think I hear something, I stop moving, I take a knee.
Yep.
Sometimes that puts my head in the worst place.
It really does, and it's one of those situations where standing or laying is going to be your best option 9 times out of 10 in Tarkov, because crouching is going to be one of those things where people have a tendency to hold their gun down. They look down while they're playing, so that way they have a better visual view. So when they go to spin on somebody and shoot, the gun just kind of goes straight across your arm up to your head, and you're dead because of that center mass. And yeah, stand or lay. Those are always your best options in Tarkov. Unless you're in a long-range engagement where you need to be crouched, there's zero reason I ever think to be crouched in Tarkov.
Unless you're hiding, or you know, if you can't move at all, you can't go prone, which is the only other viable option because of the audio. I love crouching. It certainly has its place. I just think in that instance, I too have died in many occasions where the advantage is all mine, just because the panicked flick shot of my opponent hits me center mass because my head is center mass. That's certainly something for people to think about. How many times?
Looks like Dex and they were right next to each other.
Too late.
And Dex going ahead and hearing that and flicking onto Gaz. Man, Dex is coming out of nowhere now, just saying, "Hey, I got this."
GG Dex, my dude. Well played, my friend.
The map is his now.
Absolutely amazing. It's his.
Absolutely. Great shooting right there. Great play. He noticed him. He got the gun up. As you said, you know, that gun was pointing head high already. A lot of players, they run with the gun pointing sort of at an angle, low ready. So now we're in the final 10 minutes. And Dex, I think he has one more Pastilli mask that he needs to place. We'll just check that for you guys. But the map is his now. He can do this at his leisure. Did he pick up that dog tag? Does he know that all the competitors are gone?
I didn't see him pick up the dog tag. It might have been during the transition. And did he kill? No, Needy died to a third party. But correct. Dex did pick up the other 2 competitors, so he knows that there may at least be one other competitor on the map right now, but he's very confident. This is what we were talking about early, momentum. You can see that he's built the momentum, even though he had a, okay showing in labs with 2 points. When he got into interchange, he built up that momentum as the robber, and that momentum is now picking up even more. So we'll see if that continues to carry him all the way through.
Absolutely, and one of the ways to win this tournament is obviously the easiest way is to kill your competitors so they don't get any points, and he's certainly pulling that off right now. So he's moving around the map really confident. You can see he's got the wind behind him a little bit. You said that momentum is so important. So he's slowly, or sorry, should I say quickly, making his way around. As you can see, his slick is intact. He hasn't been hit yet in that slick.
Where's haircut in months, Brian? But I really appreciate the smooth compliment. Thank you so much.
Go ahead and just listen here to Dex. He just needs to put down that last map, and that should be it. Our last mask, and then he can head out. He's got a lot of points. 7 minutes left on the clock for him.
Yeah, he could really build up his lead here. He can start to get some real space between him and the other three competitors if he can just finish up this map strong. But we know there are other players on here. They killed Needy. Needy, of course, equipped with very high level gear, and I suspect the guy that killed him also with night vision. Potentially, those guys even have thermals, which our competitors do not. We know that the guy that Gaz killed early on had thermals on his M1A. Looked like he was doing the M1A thermal kill quest for Kappa. So good luck to that guy. Rip that thermal. So you know, he still could be at a disadvantage running up against third parties here. So this is not over. But you really want to min-max your maps like this when you can control it.
Exactly, and I think he's doing an exceptionally good job. His movement is very aggressive. I see this so much in the NA play style, and Dex is, you know, we always talk about the difference between EU and NA, and this is one of the biggest differences that I notice when I watch a lot of EU players. They're not as aggressive or W key as NA players, and I think that benefits a game like Tarkov a lot. And I think this is going to be something that we're going to see in the future, where with the introduction of inertia in a heavier sense for our PMCs, I think we're going to start seeing a lot of the slower EU players really start to come out on top in these situations. But as it stands right now, because of the way the game is, Dex is running away with it.
Agreed. I'm a big fan of momentum and inertia being introduced to Tarkov. You know, I play on North American servers a lot, so I get a little bit of both sides of things. But I do understand that the developers want to slow down the game. They don't want this running, hopping, bunny jumping across the map style gameplay, which, you know, it's there right now. It exists, and that's fine. Use it to your advantage by all means. But they certainly seem to, you know, with the decisions that they're making, they want to slow down that gameplay. They want to make you think about how you move, how loud it is. No more jiggle peeking corners, you know, moving in and around slowly, letting that momentum, you know, work for you. No more standing on the top of a ridge, ADing as you snipe people. So I'm really excited for those changes. I think Tarkov is going in a very interesting direction. I cannot wait. But that is a huge raid for
that
Dex.
is huge. Yeah, we're talking. He went ahead and just decided to take the ZB extract. He got all of his masks down. He said, "You know what? I'm going to go ahead and get my bonus points. Get out." Absolutely huge raid. I mean, this Woods is always one of those maps that people can rack up a lot of points. Picked up both of his competitors and their tags. He did get those tags plus 5 scavs, each one of those counting as 1 point. So he is sitting pretty up in the lead now, if I do say so.
All the masks, right?
All headshots as well. I don't know if you noticed that. So all headshots, great shooting from Dex. And as you said, you know, he dominated on that map. He ran into 2 other competitors. He won. You know, you can do really well in this competition and not really run into your competitors too often because somebody else might kill them, or a scav or a third party. So he's running into people and he's winning, which is great. And so we'll be getting the scores updated for you guys here shortly, but I think that was fantastic.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. What a great round. We're gonna see so many points come up. Woods is always an amazing map. It really truly is a great map. We'll go ahead and let all of those points get taken care of, and we will go ahead and get a oh man, these competitors. I'm enjoying EU so much. I am enjoying EU so much, guys. But let's go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and take a short break, everybody. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few minutes, and we'll see you when we get back.
cheat here. God damn it. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, everybody. Oh, season 4, man. Look at our points leader. Dex going out huge in front with 64 points. We've got Gaz 22, Needy in third with 19, and Jez sitting at 17. Huge points by Dex. Dex is putting up one of the biggest showings that we've seen in a while. He has a lot. I mean, he is really putting up points. And the great thing about this is it's still anybody's game, Jeepo. Like, don't count any single person out. We saw Sheaf in the finals of the NA go from last to second. So I wouldn't count any of these amazing competitors out.
No, this is still too close to call. I mean, the three guys, Dex is out there in the lead, but the three guys behind, all super close. We're talking single digits in terms of where they could come. But this is not over. Dex could get, he could get tapped out real early in this next raid that we're going into, and then it's all to play for. You can put up massive scores, and how many times? Almost every single time that we get to the last map, which is going to be reserve, then we see huge scores put up on reserve. So this is not over by any stretch of the imagination. This is really just getting started, and I am excited for the next map because of it.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, Jeepo. This is by far nowhere near being close to over. Now, after watching the first 3 maps, Labs being a solo map, going into this next map, what would your advice say if you were in one of the competitors' ears, you were their battle mod or their coach? What would your advice be to them going into this next map? To not to Dex. Dex has got a comfortable lead. He just needs to keep his pace. But, what would your advice be to Gaz, Jez, or Needy?
Survive. They're not surviving their raids right now, and this is standard Tarkov, right? Make sure you survive. You can't achieve anything, almost anything in this game if you're dying every raid. So they need to start to think about how they can come out of these raids alive. Get those points in your pocket. Coming out and extracting, that's 5 points. 5 points takes Jez right up there into second place at the minute. So those 5 points are important. The other thing is we're going into Shoreline next. Do you push for Sanitar? That goes contrary to the advice I just give you, because Sanitar has a habit of killing me. So maybe if you're brave and you know how to take on Sanitar, go get that. But you need to come out of this alive. You cannot keep dying. That is my biggest tip right now. Sounds so simple, doesn't it, Fluffy?
Yeah, and that's the thing. We get so many people coming into our streams, all of us as streamers, we have so many new players coming in, and they're like, how do I make money in Tarkov? And that is always the very first suggestion. And it just shows that is such a powerful suggestion, that is the suggestion we're giving to these knowledgeable Tarkov players, these competitors, that surviving is how you're going to do anything in Tarkov. And it sounds easy, and we know it's not, but learn your limits. And Tarkov is always about learning your limits and then pushing past them.
Absolutely.
And we're going to go ahead. Oh, go ahead, Jeepo.
Go ahead. I was going to say, we're about to go to Shoreline here. And, Shoreline, of course, the favorite map of Jez and the favorite map of Needy. So both these guys need big points, and this might just be where they can do it. Fluffy, do you want to do the honors on this one, mate?
You go right ahead, buddy. Take the honors on this one.
I'll go right ahead. All right.
Shoreline.
One for the team, Shoreline Resort Recon, everybody. So, players are going to load into Shoreline during daytime. It is another 30-minute raid. These guys are going to be tasked with placing recon items in specific places and collecting bonus items. PMCs have 60 seconds to separate before the raid is declared hot, and killing each other is allowed and actively encouraged. Any loadout they want is allowed into the raid. They have to bring 3 flash drives and 2 Wi-Fi cameras to place on the map, 2 stems max and 2 grenades maxed. As usual, no GLs, Mark 18s, Reapers, Flares, T7s, or run-throughs. The locations that they need to go to and where they need to place the items, they need to go to the west wing roof and place a camera, and the east wing roof, place a camera. West wing flash drive and east wing also get a flash drive, and go to the admin section of the resort and place a flash drive in there as well. Bonus items, if they find any of these bonus items, they do get 1 point per item: SSDs, diaries, and flash drives. And in terms of points, it is 1 point per scav, 1 point per PMC with no tag or 3 with a tag. Every item they place is worth 3 points. That is huge. Place those items, guys. Bonus points is 1 per bonus item that we just mentioned. 5 points for killing Sanitar and 5 points for extracting. So a huge number of points on the board here. You can come away with 20, 30 points if you do this right. So let's see how that turns this round.
Yeah, and the best thing about this map and something that we need to understand is the bonus items. Something that we didn't see a super lot of, but we did see certain NA folks pick up a lot of points by finding SSDs and finding those diaries. Now, is that something that you, Jeepo, would try to do, is hit all of the filing cabinets? Because there are a lot of filing cabinets on Shoreline. You have a lot of time. You have not a lot of time, but you have a decent amount of time to hit those. Would you go for those bonus items?
It's an interesting one. People know Shoreline's not my favorite map. I get turned around in there even now. There's a case to be said. Maybe you go to Radar Hill and hit those first to try and find those bonus items, and then go to Resort to place your cameras and your flash drives when maybe it's a little less active. I do think people need to hit those computers. They need to hit those filing cabinets. It's going to be very, very important. Dex just came off what is, I think, the joint 3rd highest score we've ever seen in Woods at 36 points in one raid, the highest ever being 40 points by Sheaf. So he just came off a massive, massive round. These other guys need to get points. Maybe you go elsewhere than Resort to start with. Stay alive. Do what you can.
Yep. And this puts a huge target on Dex right now, because the other competitors having a possibility of a max of 40 points that we saw Sheaf pick up, that's a lot of points. So it puts a target on Dex that it allows these other competitors to say, hey, we need to take him out, and then we need to get these points, because that's going to put every one of those competitors right within that closing distance of being able to go into first place, or at least high second. And the other thing that the competitors need to worry about, and like you said earlier about staying alive, is they're not just shooting. They're not just shooting for the win today to secure the semifinals bracket. They also know the amount of points that they need to shoot for to take the wild card from Raccoon.
Absolutely. That 99-point wild card is high. That's a very high score. It will be interesting to see if any of our guys today can beat that. We've seen winners from groups with less than that high score. So it's going to be really, really interesting. I mean, Shoreline's a great map at the best of times. There's a lot of people in there right now questing. There's a lot of squads in there hoovering up those leadies, getting those items they need for, thick items, case trades. It's all to play for. Dex could pick up a lot of kills if he goes into Resort early, or my experience is I go to Resort early, I get wasted. So that could happen too. So it's going to be really, really interesting. If he goes out early, this is massively blowing this game wide open.
Now, Jeepo, I do have a question for you, because you are a player that does play a lot on EU and NA. What does the player base seem like on EU for quest wise? And what I mean by that is, where do a lot of the players seem to be in the quest line towards Kappa? Because we do know that so many NA players push straight ahead. They try to get it. They're done with those quests super early. They don't need to be in Shoreline. Are the EU players a little bit behind on tasking? Will you still see a lot of that on Shoreline?
Yeah, I think you will. You'll see a little bit more of a softly approach. Oftentimes on EU servers, when people are questing, they're less likely to risk their progress in the quest line by running into Resort just for loot. That's not always the case. There are certainly some hyper aggressive players in EU as well, but I do think that there's a chance that there are people going to be questing and going into that Resort here, whereas I know a lot of players in the NA bracket are kind of done with the quests, or don't even try. They just go in to murder people. So
Yep.
we are
And
just
we're
live. The guys are splitting up, as you can see.
Yep, we got Gaz going. We're going to go ahead and listen in on Gaz. They are splitting up. It looks like they spawned over in the corner spawn by the swamp. Needy's going ahead and pushing towards, it looks like he was going to head over towards the town, but he's decided to go ahead and turn and push up towards sniper, what we like to sometimes refer to as suicide field. Gaz is going ahead and posting up over there. The raid is now hot. Gaz is going to look for his competitors. I like
Interesting
this.
time and place to post up. It's aggressive. I like it too. He wants to get in a fight. He's going to watch that jump up point into resort because that's where people are going to have to go. And he timed that perfectly. It was almost like the 30 seconds were up. So, of course, on Shoreline, the highest points we've ever seen here were in the NA bracket when we had 34 points per raid. Yesterday, Glitzy coming away with 28, which is massive. 28 points on this map. So if we got another high 20s, low 30 point raid for any of the guys other than Dex, this thing's wide open. So let's see.
Dex just chilling out over there, picking up a PMC, I believe. Oh, Gaz is going down and picking up a scav over there at the bus station. Dex is chilling out. He's hanging out over here in this town.
And I mean, it's not a bad play. There's a lot of stashes here that you can hit. They can have some of the items, the bonus items hidden in them. He's also aware that, you know, you might be able to run into other players, which he's already done. He's got that kill, so he's racking up points already. And maybe he's taken that sort of what we were saying, you know, go slowly towards resort. You don't need to go in there. If you're in first place, Fluffy, do you start to let that get to your head? Do you think, oh, all I need to do is not mess this up? All I need to do is keep surviving and not taking unnecessary risks? Or do you continue to play the way you were playing and hope for the best?
Like a minute. Okay.
You know, it's one of those situations where I think you play your game, but I also think it's a lot like poker. When you have when you're the largest chip holder on the table, you can kind of play the game how you want to play it. You can make the decision. You can force people into situations. That's why we saw like Gaz getting into position, because he's behind and he's like, I need to try to take out competitors so that way I can try to get as many points as I can and push up higher into the bracket. And that was a really smart thing. Whereas Dex is like, I can just kind of hang out around the map. I don't really need to do anything. I don't need to put myself into unnecessary positions. And we see that here. Just chilling out. I like it. I still think he runs a lot for being the leader. He is very much an NA player. Like everything I see about the way Dex plays is very NA.
It is, but it's working. It's working for now. You know, we are one death away from that binding him a little bit. So we'll see how that plans out. But he's aggressively pushing to Gas Station Hill, it looks like right now, I believe, which is, you know, a great place to be if you want to kill people on the beach and kill people across Power Station, that whole side of the map. But let's see how that works out for him. Meanwhile, Gaz already in the resort. He hears something, it looks like. So he's taking his time. He's already placed one of his flash drive items that he needed to place. So that's a good, strong start for him as well. He's got some scavs here. These are easy points. Let's go grab them.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, now that shot could have been heard by Jez. Jez is at the back side of the resort, going over towards admin, just kind of playing it slow, taking it easy. Looks like he had popped maybe... Did he pop an SJ6 at the beginning? He is getting that blinding effect, that closed vision. Now that does count as one of his 2 stims.
It does, and that's an interesting thing as well. You know, at what stage of the wipe are you as an individual competitor? Do you have maxed strength? Do you have maxed endurance? Because that gives you an advantage, particularly on maps like Shoreline, where it's just such a massive map, and maybe you want to get in early, but you don't have the endurance. So you got to use a stim, and that counts as one of your 2, as you've said. So
looks like Needy is at the...
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, it looks like Needy is at the front of the resort, going ahead and pushing up those side. Gaz is over in west, Needy is on the front side of east, and Jez is now pushing through admin. All 3 of these competitors are closing in on each other at this moment. We could really get into some good fights here. This is what I love about Shoreline, especially when the competitors get aggressive like this.
Exactly, and you know, it's interesting because Jez is moving very slowly here. It's almost like he hears something, or he thinks he hears something, and you know, he knows he needs to survive this raid. So that psychological pressure is on him. He thinks he hears things. In the meantime, this is all to Dex's advantage. If these guys kill each other, that works out for Dex. You know, he doesn't have to do the heavy lifting. And perhaps it's getting to his head too, because he's out here picking off scavs. He's not in resort where the main fighting is going to be. Not yet.
Dex has all of this in the bag. He is in the best position as the leader. Needy is looking towards the back. Looks like Gaz and Jez are... Oh, Gaz is lighting somebody up. Jez is just playing it so slow.
He got him.
Is that a
I
shotgun?
heard one death rattle. I don't know quite what that was, but he turned the torch on when he got in that fight. That was a well-taken fight. Nice angle to hold. Of course, being a right-handed shooter in this game, you leaning right's better. We got more audio. Is that a guy running away from him or coming towards?
Oh, coming towards, going over the link, still lighting him up through the bookshelf that's thrown over there.
Yeah, and of course, bullets will penetrate that bookshelf. People hide behind it all the time. You can't put rounds through it, so do be very, very careful.
Just give me a sec.
Talking.
He's like
keeping everybody entertained. He's like, I need to get these bloody points. I'll be right back with you. Let me go place my camera.
Super smart of Gas to say, hey, look, you're not my objective. I have another objective that I need to do. Let me go get this done. I will be back for you in a minute. So I think this is a really smart play. It does allow him to lose sight of where that other player could go, which is dangerous. But I think this is the smart, get some points on the board because you never know what happens in Tarkov. And Jez is still super.
All right.
Jez, Needy might get eyes on Jez.
Yeah, he's on Sniper Rock. He sees him. He sees him.
Don't snap me.
Can he land the shot? He needs to...
Whoa!
Oh, he's hit.
He took one.
Ooh. So, here's the question. Gaz has got M61 in his MDR, and Needy's rocking what still looks like an HK or an M4. If that was an M61 run, that would have hurt a lot more. I like that Gaz is using the big old 308 here. I think that if this is going to be a sniper battle, that might be to his advantage. But he's relocated. This is clever. Never get up from where you're last seen. Crawl off that position. Needy actually being aggressive here as well, pushing.
Yeah, and this is the thing. We've got Needy like playing a little bit more aggressive than I normally see him play. And that's the other thing too, is because he was using such a smaller round. He's using that 5.56 round, even though it is M995. His arm was fine. It didn't even break or black. He even with those shots put onto him, Gaz is perfectly fine. It's a simple heal. He's going to go ahead and repack his mags while he's doing it. Jez has pushed over into West, I believe, going ahead and looking for that computer to throw one of his flash drives into. Looks like we have maybe a LEDX or high tier loot person because did he unlock that door? No, he's on. Second.
I don't believe he did. Interestingly,
look across.
Now we have
Jez,
two competitors on roofs. Look across, Jez. This is huge. Can he see him? Oh, that voodoo with the extra
he didn't
zoom
see
here.
him. He didn't see him. But Jez sees him. Or Gas sees Jez. Jez is just saying, "Oh my God, Jez, what are you doing?" He's like, "No, I got to get this down.
Get low, get low, get low."
Points.
Yep.
That's not the, I don't think
The other corner. The other corner.
Other corner.
I don't think he's in the right position yet. You can hear.
You can hear the ball on, Jez. Come on, Jez. Let's do it. I'm rooting for you, buddy. Let's go.
Gaz is knowing that he
come on.
Oh, come on, Jez. Come on. Come on.
The fundamentals of infantry combat.
Jez, lay down. You're getting shot, Jez. Lay down. Thank you.
Oh God, you need to survive. You need to survive. You can't die here.
No,
he's in big trouble here. He's in big trouble.
Oh my God, you are crazy. Jez, you are a madman.
Oh, Jez with the huge moves.
Yeet, Jez, my dude. Well done. That was awesome. That's a Kippin bro move if ever I've seen it.
Get some hype in chat right now for the Jez. He is in fourth place right now, but that play, oh my, like I'm speechless right now. That was amazing.
Ballsy, dude. Look, the fundamentals of infantry combat. I'm up, he sees me, I'm down. You don't want to keep running. He's zigzagging, he's yeeting around, he's crawling in the corners, and he's like, fuck it, I'm jumping and diving off the roof. Oh, what a great play by Jez. Guys, if you haven't went and throw Jez a follow, please go.
Guys, yes, and make sure that you go to every single one of these amazing streamer streams.
Guys.
Follows are free. Go show them all some love right now. Get in there, hit them with those follows. Jez, I'm speechless. I am absolutely speechless. I am, wow, astonished that he did that.
What's interesting here now is Needy's working his way onto the roof, and we're going to get in trouble.
Needy!
20 minutes.
Needy's dead! Gaz just
Oh.
hasn't had to leave. Gaz is okay. He's like, this is my house. I live here now. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna keep shooting everybody that comes up here.
Well, I was gonna say, Gaz isn't. You know, you can make the point that Gaz doesn't necessarily know what to do right there. Jez jumped off the roof. He didn't want to move. He didn't want to follow him down. He doesn't know if Jez, is holding an angle on him. Meanwhile, per Needy, he was still mentally in that first fight. He was still fighting Gaz, and he was not ready for this. Jez now throwing grenades onto the roof. He's coming
Were
for
those Vogue
Gaz.
17s?
They look like a Vogue. He's coming to this roof. He's gonna get more points. Like he's gonna leave that flash drive. And is he gonna push for the kill? This is a nasty spot that Gaz is in on that roof. They're gonna bump into each other, I think. Gaz going for that next kill, perhaps.
And Dex is still out here just having himself a nice little stroll through the woods of Shoreline, going down to the beach, checking it out, just kind of hanging out. He has full control of this map. Like, that's the thing that Dex has right now. He doesn't have to be aggressive. He doesn't have to do anything Dex doesn't want to do. And this is showing that.
Yeah, he can take his time. Let them kill each other. This works for him. This works for him. This is to his advantage. He's just checked. He knows that's Needy. So that's some points in the bag. One less competitor to worry about. Now, Jez is on a interesting angle here. They could bump into each other once more.
Look right, Jess. Look right. You'll see him. You gotta look up though.
He's gonna hear this. He has to hear this. He's gonna hear him on that metal for sure.
He doesn't. They're too far away. I think he's outside of the audio.
Oh my goodness. That's so close.
Camera, other roof.
He's checking Sniper Rock. That is an exceptionally good thing to do. Check those back rocks for people up there trying to get shooterborn, trying to get things done like that. Very good call. But he has no idea where. He still thinks he's on the roof. He's still in his head is saying this guy's on the roof.
Why you leave it open, bro?
Absolutely. And I think what's most interesting this is I don't know how much Gaz knew about what was going on there. He just clung to that roof to see what would happen, and Per Needy ran straight into it. What a great play that was
Gaz
for Gaz.
is pushing out the back, but Jez isn't going to see it. Jez is still just going to miss it.
Yeah, he's moving exceptionally slowly here. He's very, very cautious. What's interesting here is this is Jez's favorite map on Shoreline. I would hope he would be just a little bit more aggressive.
Someone whispering.
But of course, he's
Jez
now
is getting
going
up
to
on
Sniper
Sniper
Rock.
Rock.
Yeah,
Fucking forgot.
with another 5.56 weapon. So again, maybe if he clips an arm, we're gonna have that same issue.
He's still checking over there. He still thinks somebody is on that roof, has zero idea that he has absolutely moved across the entire. Look to the left. Lots of trees going to block Jez's view of that roof. If he just looks up, he should see this. Look up to the left, Jez.
He's moving again.
No, they just missed,
And this is why evasion. This is why evasion's so unique. You get these multiple perspectives, and you can just pull your hair out of how close they are to spotting each other again. They're just moving around each other like ships in the night. Meanwhile, Gaz still on that roof. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna use this high point to try and see if anybody else is gonna push the roof? Because of course Dex hasn't made it to resort yet.
Gaz? Okay. I thought Gaz was going to hold to the other side because he knew that he had only put a camera down. He knew that he had put one camera was over there, so the other player does have to go up to that roof to put their cameras down. It looked like he was going to hold it because it was like maybe we just switch positions. Dex is now inside of West, it looks like.
Yeah,
Or
enter
East, I
stage
believe.
left. Our current leader, Dax, has just entered resort, so he now needs to go and place all these items. So, for all he knows, these guys are all dead, or are
They're
out
coming
of the
right
raid
on top
already.
of each other. It looks like Dex is in 107. Gaz is running. They hear each other. There's. Whoa!
308
Gaz
wins!
wins!
There we go.
Gaz using that case to pin, using that larger ammo, it's pinning right through that cover. Dex did not stand a chance. Gaz just putting the points leader down. That's huge because now that Gaz has taken out the points leader and the points leader did not really get any bonus points, Gaz has got the opportunity to close this down a lot. Close this lead.
Absolutely.
Absolutely amazing.
He zeroed that slick. You see what a short burst of 7.62 does. Zeroed the slick. He grabbed that dog tag. He's out. He's got player kills. He killed 2 competitors. He's dropped the items he needed to drop. Huge round for Gaz. Meanwhile, Jez is still being exceptionally cautious. He knew he heard something happening in the resort, even though it was on the other wing, and he's being exceptionally cautious. He still needs to place his items, and he's in a fight. Is that another PMC?
Oh,
it's a
two
two-man.
of them. 2-man.
Get him.
Good stuff,
Oh.
Jez. Picking up both of those kills. Absolutely astonished that he heard the wood. He heard that wood. He said, okay, I know somebody's coming. That's why he was creeping. I don't even think he was worried about the roof or the other fighting. He heard something we didn't. He waited. He played patient. He held that angle. It almost cost him, but because he was crouched. But that was amazing. That was absolutely one of the great things.
Look, if he gets both those dog tags, that's 6 points. That's huge for him right now. He needs to grab those dog tags. He needs to prioritize the heal. I think he popped some drugs, which will help. Get that chest healed up, dude. You don't know if there's a third person here in that squad, just hanging out a little bit behind, strung out inside the resort. He's going to go to the roof, it looks like, and drop these cameras. But damn. That was big. That was a great kill. His competition could have been over right there.
This has been astonishing how close every single one of these competitors has gotten to each other in the resort. I mean, Dex had time. It was Dex's game to lose, and he forced his hand, and it cost him.
Absolutely it did. And we wondered what was going to happen psychologically to Dex. He's pulled up, he's got a good lead. Is he going to bide his time and go into the resort with the risk that these other guys have already established themselves in there? They have sort of cleared areas that they know. And that's exactly what happened. He ran straight into another competitor. And meanwhile, you know, we have Jez over here being very, very timid, but still alive. Still the opportunity to put points on the board. And so, you know, there's still maps to come after this, but this is a massive shakeup.
And I don't know if I would say that Jez is being timid. I don't get that feeling that it's timid. I feel like it's methodical and it's very slow paced. Like, he has an idea of what he's doing. He's very much aware of his surroundings. He is playing at his pace though, and that's what I like. He's not getting caught up in what he has to. Oh, Gaz is picking up
with the PMC kills. Or is this a Sanitar guard? This might mean Sanitar's there. I'm not quite able to tell just yet. I think these are PMCs, though.
I think these are PMCs because I don't think Sanitar's guards lay down like that by the truck.
Get that.
I think these are PMCs picking up some extra points. Every point is huge for Gaz right now. Gaz has the opportunity to come into second, even maybe push up, become our new highest points gainer on this map, and move into first. We could see.
You do get a bonus for extracting.
Absolutely. And I think that's Jez's battle mod you can hear there as well. And actually, I like Jez's playstyle. I said timid, but I mean that in a positive way. He listens, he observes his surroundings very well. He makes calculated moves. And there's a player that wasn't listening to his surroundings. He just third-partied him, Gaz, with another PMC kill, it looks like.
We fucked the rest off.
That's a third party, and it looks like I really love the use of somebody actually using smoke and it filling up an area for them to run away.
Yeah, we've been talking about this on my channel quite a lot. We are trying to find ways to implement smoke better in Tarkov. There's been a few times we started to carry it this week, so it's quite happy to see people using that. Meanwhile, Jez picking up some scavs on his way to... Is he moving towards extract? I think he might be. Get those bonus 5 extract points.
I like what Gaz is doing. He knows that his round can pin that just easy. A lot of players like to go into that corner and hang out and hide when they think somebody's going to push them. They go right over there, but it does put them in a very bad situation. It says, hey, you're stuck here. You can't move. I can shoot through this if I have a large enough round, and he may have picked up a kill there. We don't know until he gets out because he's not going to push for that tag.
Yeah, absolutely would not push for that tag. Why risk the strong position you're in? It would be a fool's errand, I feel.
This one is empty.
Jez,
He survived. He just extracted.
Okay.
He
One of
just
the
extracted. He
others
wanted
first,
those
'cause of the
bonus
blue
points. He
armband.
got 2 player kills, and he got his objectives. So I think that's actually a great raid from Jez. He was very
Honestly,
methodical, as you
I
said, to
wasn't
use your
prepared for
word.
the second guy to come out.
No,
Big
well, I
points
heard-
for
I knew
him.
that
This
there's
will
two.
change his next raid. I think he'll be full of confidence going into the next one after that. That was great.
Of the fucking truck, right? The other
So
dude's
Gaz
fucked
has
up.
got 9 minutes. Gaz
never
can
wanna take that
decide,
fight.
do I want to get out now? Do I
Let's
want those
walk away.
bonus points? Do I want to
We can fight
just
another day.
murder
Don't
the
make
map?
me do
Oh,
it.
he's telling his chat, don't make
Thanks,
me
chat.
do it. We
Great
can
talk.
fight another
Bye.
day. Let's not go die. We are in a really good position. Bonus points are huge on this map. So I think this is the right call. Just leaving, say
I
hey.
love the tags, but oh.
Absolutely. My chat know how much I love them, but I also know how much they love to see me die so they can clip it. The smart move here, guys, ignore your chat. Get those bonus points, please. Leave.
Yep. And there you go.
It's
Just
a
picking up a
huge
few
raid.
scavs. Picking up a few scavs along the way towards that extract. Going ahead and making his way over to temporary, maybe to check that. You got to get close to temporary, though, to be able to tell if the light is on, because the light up top is broken, and you have to check the ground in front of it to see if it's actually working.
Absolutely. There's so many times I just don't even bother. I just run to Road to Customs. But he, as you can see, we're just updating score there. 7 PMCs in this competition so far. This is a very good, aggressive plays from him, killing PMCs. More PMCs than scavs, in fact, which is always quite interesting. So hopefully he can get out here and secure those bonus points. You can hear that's what he's prioritizing right now.
Let's rotate. Push that. Fuck, is this my extract?
Double checking the extract. How many times have you as a player, Jeepo, gotten to Road of Customs or CC Temporary and then go, tunnel's my extract. You gotta look at the ground. You gotta get closer to the ground to check.
Hold on, right?
I think it's open.
Definitely not one
It's
time
open.
has that happened to me, Fluffy. Definitely not one time.
Looks no.
He's gonna check it. No.
It doesn't. I can't tell if the light was on because of, just a little bit of the glare from the sun, but he's saying, nah, I'll just go ahead and push. It doesn't look like it's open.
Might as well push this way, right?
He might be able to pick up a scav or two on the way here
I really
as
messed
well.
up when I picked this
Just
voice
he
line.
needs to be careful. You never know what can
Fucking
happen
stole the-
outside an extract in Tarkov.
Stole the voice.
And what helmet is he wearing?
Maybe we can get some scabs on the way out this
Do
way.
we know?
You know,
Good
I
idea.
didn't catch it, but bonus points to him for using that MDR. Big fan of that. I think that came up really clutch for him in those rounds as well. Thing hit
I do
so
find
hard.
it interesting. I do find it interesting that he's not going with a front or rear sight on it, getting that 2+ ergo to that way hold it or snap it just that little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, when it comes to a weapon like this, you want to minimize, you want to min-max a little bit in terms of get that ergo as high as you can. But the good thing about this MBR is it takes very little modding to make it as good as it can be. So he's done a good thing here. He's got that voodoo on with the red dot, which covers his bases. He's got the long range. He's got the short range. His kills have been both long and short range. So I think it was a great choice of weapon for this map. Be interested to see if he continues to use it on the next one or if he switches it up. But yeah,
Now,
big run for gas here.
Why do we hold
Jeepo, can you tell, is that a wave suppressor on the front of it? I know a lot of people have started opting away from the wave due to the hit on ergo that it does give you. It was the meta last patch. I can't tell if that's the wave.
It looks like the wave. It's hard for me to tell a little bit due to traditional Twitch shoreline bit rates, let's call it.
And that right there was the reason I was asking about the helmet, because shotgun scavs patrol this area quite often, and they are the scariest thing in Tarkov. I will say that over and over. They scare me more than anything.
Yeah, I'd rather fight a PMC than a shotgun scav in many instances. But yeah, 5 seconds, he'll be out of this raid, and that's a huge confidence boosting raid for Gaz. Well done, that man. GG.
Needy is saying it's the SDN in chat. That's beautiful. It's great. It's bad for recoil though, but it doesn't look like he, was really into full auto in it too much. Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 PMC kills, 3 dog tags. Massive raid from Gaz.
He did get that guy.
Got him.
He got the guy
got
at
him.
the street. Yep.
With 3 dog tags.
He got both of them, yeah. Because the guy, the one in the middle there, the monster was the third party that was at the little overlook that he had killed. So he had killed the one at the street, and he had managed to kill the guy hiding in the corner with either the grenade or his bullets. What an amazing, great job, Gaz. I'm excited to see the updated scoreboards now, Jeepo, because with him surviving, killing so many of the players, getting so many bonus points, we might see a new high record on this map.
I don't know yet, but I would be surprised if that isn't up there at the very least. That is huge. 6 player kills, most of the dog tag, or half of the dog tags, all objectives completed, killing your competitors as well, which is, always good for the old ego. I think that is going to be, I think that might be our new leader. We'll stand by on that. The battle mods, of course, collating the scores right now. We'll be updating that as soon as we can, guys. But yeah, that was a fantastic raid for Gaz, but also for Jez. Jez surviving too, getting the objectives done, getting some PMC kills. We know that man can fight, and he's getting some of the extract bonus points as well. So huge for them. Dex and Needy, not quite doing it. They didn't get the objectives. They both got wasted by other competitors. This thing's starting to shake out a little bit.
And I know I touched on this before, but I do want to point out one more time before we go anywhere. Right below me, check out that Evasion GG Twitter giveaway. Quote, tweet, and leave a comment for a chance to win a standard EFT account. Ends tomorrow night, Sunday night. So go out there. I want to see some very, very funny things. I've already seen a couple of good ones, so I can't wait to see what everybody else in chat comes up with.
There's a lot of human centipede references that I'm not allowed to make. Also, check out the merch, guys. Cool Kids Wear Evasion merch. There you go. So look at the scores. Oh, wow. Fluffy. This is updated.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've had it confirmed. New high score for Shoreline is now held by Gaz.
Yes. Gaz coming in with 58 points. That's a huge jump for Gaz. Dex holding 77, still our leader. Needy at 22 and Jez 45. That was a huge round for both Gaz and Jez. But like I've said before, don't count any of these competitors out. We've seen so many points on Reserve. And Reserve is the map where I say this shines through about how these people play. This is their map. This is they have objectives on Reserve. They have things that they need to do. But this is their map. This is their play style. So I'm excited to see this. Jeepo, are you a Reserve player?
I am. My relationship with Reserve is complex. I want it to be the best map in Tarkov, and I think in terms of its design, it potentially could be. Unfortunately for me, I just feel that there are too many player scavs and too many naked boys running around sticking things in their butt. It's just not for me right now. I think still the cream of maps is Interchange. But Reserve certainly has potential if they can figure out how to tweak it a little bit. Is my opinion. But when it comes to Evasion, Reserve is the map where we see the winners made and the losers fall away. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But that was a huge Shoreline right there for everybody.
It was huge. Absolutely amazing. Every single competitor going into Shoreline, they knew the game that they had to play. Dex, I felt was doing the right thing at the beginning by pushing around, staying on the outside, not needing to get aggressive. And I feel like what happened for Dex was that moment hit him, and in his subconscious, he was like, oh, I'm a Chad. What am I doing out here? Why am I running around out in the woods? This isn't where I belong. And it got the better of him, and he decided to push in. And unfortunately, the other 3 competitors already had that under control. That was their home at that point. I think he needed to wait a little bit longer to go in and wait for the smoke to settle. And he said he heard the fighting and was like, nah, this is my home. And it cost him, but not bad enough. He's still the point leader. He's still in a great position. So absolutely. Great time.
he heard the fighting at Resort, and we all know that's the mating call for Chads. He had to go investigate. He did pick up some scav kills outside. He did get points on the board, but maybe he thought he was questing. Maybe he thought he had the blue armor on or doing the AKM quest. He realized, damn, shit, I'm in a competition. I need to get into Resort, and he just happened to run into gas at the wrong time. In that hallway, in the dark, through cover, that big 308 round ripped through the slick. And it's put the cat amongst the pigeons here. This is all to grab. So I'm very excited for this next one.
Yeah. The next one is going to be very interesting because every single competitor does load in by themselves. They go ahead, and this is them loading in on their own map, doing what they do best. So let's go ahead and take a look at our reserve map now. Reserve checkmate. This is going to be solo. PMCs are tasked with getting kills in or on any of the buildings listed below. Getting kills while you are on or in each of the buildings is worth 3 bonus points. They don't stack though. So from king, queen, knight, either but not both, rook, bishop, pawn, and remember that is inside of them or on top of them, not below them. So over by, you know, the hermetic doors that are below all of these buildings, if you pass through those hermetic doors, that does not count any longer. Same loadouts as they've pretty much wanted before. Any loadout, 2 stems, grenades, no GLs, MK18s, no Reapers, run-throughs, anything like that. Lots and lots of points are up for grabs right now. Lots. I mean, we saw Sheaf come from last place during the finals. And I said this before. Man was down. Came back and took second. So I don't want to count any competitor out. They still have the wild card, the 99 points that they can come for. They all still are in this, and I can't wait to see what they do.
Absolutely.
What about
absolutely?
you?
Now, interestingly, none of these guys have reserve as their strongest or favorite map. So I like that. I like the fact that they might be a little bit more tentative, a little bit more cautious. Interesting to see the weapons choices that they bring here, but of course these guys are not loading in to the same raid, right? So they're all deploying as we speak. It's gonna be interesting. You know, you got to move around the map. It's very common on reserve that you're either hanging around underground, getting the loot, killing raiders and dipping out, or you're sort of holding down one sniper position for extended periods of time. This game mode, this checkmate, means that you cannot do that. You need to move around the map to all the different buildings, and I think it's gonna be interesting. We have seen people get made and broken on this one map.
Yeah, we truly have, and one of the biggest situations that we're going to run to is weather. And that's something we have happen a lot of times on reserve, especially during the NA, was when we were having the monsoon and Tarkov. Every single map during all the competitions, for the most part, were cloudy, foggy. Up there at the King building, you just couldn't get a snipe from. And, you know, maybe if the competitors were wearing some of the amazing merch and other things, are going to the Tarkov website for the evasiongg.com below us, maybe they would have been better off. Yeah. Guys, please make sure you go over to Evasion. Yeah, they're bulletproof. There we go. They make you a better gamer. But also, please go check out the evasion.gg website. So much amazing information about all of the competitions, the different regions. Also, the team that Evasion runs. Absolutely amazing competitors on that team, and the merch store. So go check that out, evasion.gg. We're about to get into it, and I'm excited, Jeepo. I'm so excited about it.
Me too. This is in it's on a knife edge, very tentatively poised, this one. You know, Needy a little bit further back in 4th place. He's doing outstandingly. Of course, Needy, of course, being a battle mod here at Evasion. He wanted to see what it's like on the other side of the camera. We'll certainly ask him how he felt he did post competition. But he could have a huge raid here too, and he's still not out of this by any means. You said that wild card is there to be taken, if he can get to that at least, and he might even do better than that. He needs to kill players. You need the raid of your life, but it's certainly doable. The other guys, Jez and Gaz, they're not a million miles away from Dex. Dex has just had his cage rattled, his confidence knocked a little bit coming out of that Shoreline raid. So if memory serves as well, Shoreline, you know, that was one of his favorite maps. It is, and he didn't capitalize. So let's see how he respawns. He bounces back from that failing.
Exactly. And that's the one thing that we talked about earlier in this competition is momentum. And Dex had all of the momentum, and will that death cause him to lose a bunch of that momentum? Or is he going to show why he was a competitor, why he is a competitor in this competition, and just keep pushing through it and saying, hey, nope, I'm not going to let that get to me. I'm going to push through. I'm going to keep competing at the top level that I know I can compete at. I'm excited to see. I really, truly am.
Absolutely. These guys are all great competitors. I mean, there's hundreds of people in chat watching right now. I'd be interested to see who chat thinks is going to come away with this. But go give these guys a follow, guys. They're playing their hearts out for everybody tonight. These are all smaller streamers who unfortunately they just don't get noticed because of how Twitch works. It's hard to find unique new talent, and as you can see, there's lots of great players out there. So if you can, guys, go give these guys follows, tell them how well they've done, give them some love. I think they're putting on a hell of a show tonight.
Yeah, show them all absolutely love. Remember, follows are free. Go show these competitors, let them know you're rooting for them, go into their chats, tell them how much you're enjoying what they're doing, because it's not easy. Me and Jeepo have both been competitors in this evasion tournament. You're nerved, you're on the edge of your seat the entire time, and it's not an easy thing to do. They make it look easy.
They do. I remember, the butterflies, the sweaty palms, loading into your maps, loading into your favorite maps, almost worse than loading into your worst one, because you feel the pressure. This is my map. I need to not mess this up. So these guys have been doing so well tonight. They've been really getting after it. We've had lots of competitor on competitor action. Phrasing, first of all. So these guys are really killing each other out there for you guys. So yeah, go give them those follows. That means a lot to a small streamer. Absolutely.
Yeah. And everybody from Walker Stream that's just now joining us, thank you guys so much for coming. We appreciate the raid. Guys, you joined at the perfect time. Going into our final map, it is going to be great. We're going to go ahead and jump over to that quad view, take a look at our amazing competitors, and see what they're about to get into. This is going to be great. We're listening in to Jez right now. Going ahead and starting over at Black Pond, running straight in to the schoolhouse.
So straight in here. Of course, this could be, he hears something straight up. This could, of course, be a boss spawn.
Got to be exceptionally careful, especially at this spawn. So many players are dying right at the beginning, especially if they spawn over towards the railway. If Scav Boss is there, his guards light you up as soon as you spawn in. So he's hearing somebody close to him. Oh, going ahead and lighting him across. Did he drop him? It looked like a headshot.
I think he did. I think he got the drop on that boy. Great shooting, Jazz. Good use of audio.
Going ahead
and
he
knows there's
still
more.
hearing somebody.
Of course, as we know, anyone that plays reserve, you'll know that people rush this building. They go for the drop down. They go for the RBAM locked room at the bottom floor there at the other end. So he got himself a nice player kill. What a great start. Do you get on a grenade launcher and shoot down that building in the hope of killing Gluhar? Is that something you take the risk and do
No,
for the bonus points if you think he's
not,
in there?
Not
no?
at all.
Yeah.
No, you getting on that is literally letting everyone in the map know exactly where you are. And most people, when they hear somebody on that, it's just going to hunt you because they're like, dude, why are you over there? Stop. Nobody wants this. And they come for you.
It's the big
At
plays.
least I found
it's
that.
the big plays. I don't disagree, but if you're not in first place and you need big points, do you go for it? Like if you're in Needy's position where you're in fourth place and you need big points, do you do those ballsy plays to try and get those bonus kills on Gluhar? It might be.
Oh,
worth
Dex
it.
is down.
Dex.
Dex is
Oh,
out
no,
right
hang
at
on.
the beginning. That is the point leader.
That's a replay. Hang on. That's
Wait,
not
wait.
Dex.
Is that a highlight or is that a replay of what just happened?
Need to
Can we get
some
confirmation from the battle mods,
on
please?
that one.
Yes. Because that looks like it looks like him right now.
Needy with the kill
Bilbo.
on a thick PMC.
Yeah, Needy picking up a huge kill. We are getting confirmation from Philbo in chat that Dex is done. That is his run. That is the points leader out.
Oh wow.
Oh
Okay,
my gosh.
well, we said this could be cat amongst the pigeons, and here we have it. Our points leader dying 15 seconds into the raid.
Oh,
So
Gaz
now
still
it
not
is
in yet.
huge. Gaz still waiting
Man.
to load into raid. Jez picking up points from a PMC kill and Needy. So everybody picking up points and closing down on Dex. That's such an unfortunate end to Dex's competition. This man was not phased coming into this. He was exceptionally calm. But he just got that spawn, and that marked room just attracts players, and he got hit leaving the area.
It really does, Jeepo, and that is what we were talking about right there. I don't think that he was mentally out of it. I think he still had his momentum going a little bit, but it may have been. I mean, we talked about how important momentum is for building into this, and him being taken out like he was in the last raid, going into this raid, it could have affected him, but it could have just been Tarkov. We don't know. It's unfortunate.
Absolutely.
He still has a lot of points on the board.
Absolutely. And look, there is always the argument with reserve that the spawns are probably needing a little bit of work, let's say, because you spawn right beside players, you know sort of roughly where they are. As an exceptionally quick death, very, very unlucky for Dex. If you're Gaz, and you're not
taking shots at somebody on... Wait, did he just drop somebody at Dome?
I think he might have. He wanted that tag. He wanted that tag. He got it. Having fun with it too, which is great. He's gonna move towards Dome, I think. Is he gonna try and get up there? It's his map. You heard it. This could be huge for Needy if he can secure this map and move from each location and get a kill. And as I was saying, if you're Gaz, you're loading in here. You're watching this on your other monitor. I know I would be. You know that you're in second place and our points leader is out. Does that get in your mind? All you got to do is have a good raid. Not a spectacular raid, just good enough to overtake Dax.
It can. I mean, we've got those situations. Yeah, this is one of those situations where it's like, hey, this is my game to lose, and your mental state can definitely affect that. You just have to be strong mentally and say, hey, I'm going to play my game. I personally wouldn't have this up on another monitor. I would not want to know anything about what's happening because I don't want that distraction. I don't want that thought process. I want to play my game and just do what I can do best and not worry about my competitors, because on this map, your competitors are not a worry. You are the worry.
That's a good point, particularly on this map. You're absolutely right. You know, you're loading in singly. They're not here with you. It is your opportunity to make the most out of this solo run. So you might be onto something there. I know on other maps, I would be interested to know if my competitor went interchange. If I thought the robber went down and I'm the cop, then that's something for me to care about. But here, probably not. Probably not. So Jez taking a risk, hanging off the edge a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's having. I think Gaz is having a issue with his matchmaking times. He is getting very, very long matchmaking times. Hopefully, he will get in soon, and we can start seeing what he's going to do. Go ahead and listen to Jez here. Such a dangerous place to play from, Jez. You're wide open. How do you feel about this sniping point that Jez is going for here?
I'm puckered. If I'm honest, I've been sat here before and jumped out of my skin when, you know, a suppressed round comes whizzing across the map and hits me in the face shield. So I'm not loving this spot right now. I'm getting some PTSD flashbacks. I wouldn't sit here for too long, but he does need that kill. He needs that kill from this location, so he has no choice. He needs to get something from here. He needs those points.
Yep, and remember, so it can either be a PMC or a scav. He just needs to find something to shoot from this location. It does look like it's a sunny day. He doesn't have to worry about the cloud cover that so many of the NA folks had to worry about to try to get a shot from. I don't know. Oh, Needy getting into it with the guy that he shot at originally. It looks like there may be
PMC, like blue
he got both of them, yeah. He was going up to claim the kill, but of course he needed to get another kill from this location anyway for the mission. But it looks like there's the two bodies. So he got two PMC kills. Massive. Huge for Needy.
Absolutely beautiful. I'm also worried about Jez's option in sight here, because he is using a hammer scope, which I love. I think this is one of the better scopes in the game. The 4x zoom is absolutely clear and crisp. You have that sight on the top also. It's a beautiful sight. but it just doesn't have the range. And that's my concern right now, is he's missing that extra range to really get in there. Did Needy just pick up another one?
He might have. I'm watching Jez. He's got something on the roof over there. He's about to try and take a shot at with that hammer sight that you mentioned. He can't afford to miss this. He needs this kill so he can get out of this location.
Come on, Jess.
Starting to
What are you
spray a
zeroed
little
at,
bit.
Jez? This is another issue that I see a lot of people still are not doing. And I thought this would have already been picked up as the meta. People are still way overrunning the 60-round mags. People cannot break this habit of wanting 60-rounders, where 40-rounders, even though you only have 2 options in rigs if you're going to run a 40-rounder, are way better.
My fucking map one more time.
So
These kids just sit down.
Needy's having fun with it. Like I say, he's just killing people left and right. He's having the great. This is the rate of his life. You love to see it. For me, I like to bring a 30 with me. I try to. I don't always do it anymore. But at the start of this wipe, when they changed the ergo, I brought a 30 and I would put the 30 in if I knew I was going to hold a position. So the higher ergo. I haven't used 40s much. I just find that 60 habit is very hard to break if I'm in CQB. I need those extra runs.
It really is. Gaz is finally loading into raid. So we're going to go ahead and see what Gaz can do. He does have the best opportunity to take the points leader out and become our winner for today.
All the practice was for.
But the thing is, the 60-rounder habit, I mean, how many times are you absolutely emptying a 60-rounder into somebody? I mean, you're normally sitting there with 30 rounds still in the mag when you reload. And it's one of those situations because of the ergo hit that it does, because of the reload timer. The 40 rounders, I keep trying to emphasize this to people. They're cheaper, they're better, they just work better. And with 60 rounders being 120k on the flea market, if you can't buy it from a trader, it's crazy.
For me personally, to answer your question, I'm usually emptying 60 rounders around people, not into them. That's my first problem right there. I shudder to think how many times I've died with full 60s in my rig. So we're just changing over to Gaz here, getting his audio. He just loaded in, so he still has a lot of work to do in his raid. He's trying to move. It looks like he's moving towards the dome so he can try and get that kill ticked off.
It sounds like he heard somebody up there and he's like, guys, please don't leave. I'm coming up there to kill you. Just stay there, please. I need to get my points. Oh, no, I think he heard him in that building behind him. And he's like, hey, just stay there. Let me get up top here. I'll get my point. And then you're good. Once you're dead, I don't care where you go. Oh,
I'll be right with you guys.
Gaz is getting lit up.
Hold on. Okay. All right. Change your plans.
He's going to need to reevaluate how he does this now. He's been spotted. Surviving's priority 1. If you have to take the kill now, just take it. You can worry about shooting a scab from dome if you need to.
Gaz does not ever seem to care about healing either. I've noticed this multiple times with Gaz. Healing is the least important thing to him.
Yeah, it's a very Miss Magpie move. She was the same during Evasion. I think she says this ain't no healing stream. So not a believer in the heals, more a believer in the shoots. But he's found a position that works for him. He can get the kill and he gets that point that ticked off the map for this location at least.
Don't want to get clapped in the face.
That's right.
I'd be trying to heal that leg here while you have a second.
He's more worried about trying to pick up the... He sees the door open. He's saying, hey, where'd you go? I know you're still around. I need to pick up this kill from this building. Needy still sitting on 5 kills. Looks like he's hunting for some bonus points in this building over here. Let's see what Gaz does.
Yeah, Needy getting 5 PMC kills, getting the dog tags, ticking off kills on the buildings that he needs. This is a massive raid for him. He will need to pull out an absolute high score for reserve, I believe. In first place, the high score in reserve was Sheaf in the second semi-final, where he scored 59 points. Then Miss Lizard with 53, and Big Jake was 55, and Miss Lizard was 53. So these high scores are obtainable, and Needy needs to be in amongst those to have a chance.
He really does. And then we have for EU so far, the highest is Raccoon, putting up 44.
Yeah, absolutely. So chance for Needy to get on those record books as well.
Gaz
EU.
sees something in the building, trying to get the eyes over there, saying, "Hey, come back! I need the bonus
Try
points."
and get at least one kill from.
And Jez stomping around on a rooftop like a Giga Chad on reserve. This is bold
I tell
moves.
people,
I like it.
I tell people this all the time. I go up here and I never get shot at. I don't know if people just don't look at this roof because it's unexpected, but I never get shot at when I'm on this roof. I'll lay up there for like 5 minutes and just try to find people to shoot, and nobody ever worries about me.
God, I don't know if I would have the courage to lie up there for 5 minutes. I'll be very honest. It's not somewhere I would feel very exposed. He didn't stick around too
Sigma,
long. I
run
think
with
he
me,
used it
you'll
as
get shot at.
advantage. Can confirm. Can confirm.
So we were talking about this earlier, and I'm watching Jez do it now. When Jez goes into crouch hunt mode, does that worry you being crouched all the time like Jez is? Do you think Jez dies to those like getting somebody, lifting them up? Oh, come on, Jez. Beautiful. Oh, there's another one.
It's the second one.
No.
Oh!
No!
Two-man squad. Jez goes down. Oof.
Oh, man.
Oh, I should have gone prone.
Dang it.
He should have gone pro, and of course, hindsight in the fight, you never know. He handled that first fight so well. He dominated the guy on the stairs. He pushed through the staircase because his rounds were hitting that staircase. He got the long barrel of his rifle out of the way, killed the first guy. He was running a 60. Did he need to reload that 60? Because that reload meant he was helpless when that second guy opened up on him. So
And I think that's
unfortunate for Jez.
That's another one of those situations that we run into where so many people have this innate need to reload as soon as they get out of a fight and not think about it. Oh, Needy picking up, just lining up somebody.
he
Doesn't
missed
look
him.
like he actually dropped him.
I think that guy is probably regretting his life choices. He's gonna go lick his
Gaz
wounds. And
picking up somebody
Gaz,
over by the button. Man, action everywhere. I don't know where to look.
Is the scout working at you, bro? What's up with that?
is another player. So this is maybe another point where you can argue that something like an MDR is the choice of weapon here. Trying to shoot him. Oh, he gets him through the window.
Beautiful,
Needy with the kill through
Beautiful.
that sneaky little window. Great shooting.
Absolutely
Is
amazing
this the point
shots.
where the MDR being a bullpup but having that long internal barrel, meaning it's exceptionally accurate with that 308 round, is the choice? It is short, it is easy to maneuver around a building, so those railings don't cause you as much trouble as they cause Jazz. Certainly something to think about when you're on a map like Reserve, where you need to move in and around the buildings but also have that long range power.
And a lot of it, I think, also comes down to Jeepo is what these players are comfortable with. How many, like, I personally am a semi-automatic guy. I want M1s, I want bullpups. I even like the the RFB. Like, I like those guns, but I prefer something that I can control the spray of a lot easier because I am controlling the fire rate, where I see a lot of other people use fully automatic weapons, and I just don't have the same luck as them. So I think it's about playing into what the players are comfortable with.
Agreed. And that's why I think the MDR is a great starter weapon. Even 5.56 is very cheap. You don't need to modify it very much. The fire rate is lower, which means the recoil is very easy control. You can keep it on full auto, but just tap with your finger. It's just a great rifle. And I think everybody should give it a shot. And as a Brit, we are all about those bullpups. And until Nikita gives me our broken L85, I'm going to have to make do with the MDR. And Needy with another kill.
More points.
Dominating on that rooftop.
Absolutely dominating. I do have a question. We have Fox in the chat asking, do I hear Jeepo changing his main gun from an M4 416 to the 308 MDR?
So I've been running a lot of M4 416 this wipe. But the reason I'm doing it is I want to get the weapon mastery to level 3 before I switch back to my 308 MDR. I'm working on that recoil because, of course, I want to take part in duos for Evasion, and I want that recoil control as low as I can get it. So there's a method to the madness, but I still have a special place in my heart for that 308 MDR.
Well, I know all of us are looking forward to seeing you, hopefully, in the duos. Okay, this is another question for you, Jeepo. Are you doing NA or are you doing EU for the duos? Because I do know that you are a you know, you're kind of a hybrid player.
To play in between these buildings. Maybe I
Very
can
much a
switch
hybrid, but I would be doing the EU because I am based in the UK. Yeah.
Okay.
Brain, we have to play extremely carefully, chat.
If I
Needy
qualify.
saying I need to
Just
play
everyone
it.
I'm
I
scared
need to
about.
play it carefully. He's picked
No
up
one's
so
pressed the
many
buzzer
bonus
yet.
points. He
So-
also wants to get those bonus
We don't
points
have
because
to worry
remember
about,
they get
bonus
double extract bonus points if they
until
hit the
train
button
comes in.
and then go to the
We don't have to worry
hermetic
about snipers.
extract. So we're definitely looking at them wanting to pick up those points.
Absolutely, and I think Needy's on the reserve rate of his life
Ooh.
right now. He is on fire here. He needs to maximize everything
Thanks,
he
guys.
can get his hands
I
on,
fucking
every
needed
single
this,
point.
dude.
Mhm.
I needed
Very
this. You could
dangerous
hear him.
Yeah. He's definitely had a slower start to the day. He's had some unfortunate, you know, deaths, but and you can hear it. I needed this, and you can just tell Needy is in a groove now. He's got his, you know, he's got his groove back. He's playing like the Needy that if you've watched
Very
him
true.
stream, you're playing like the
Very true.
Needy you see on stream. He's smiling. He's relaxed.
You are not wrong, sir.
He's interacting with chat. Yeah, he's certainly a little bit more relaxed now than he was, which is, I think it's showing for him as well. Meanwhile, Gaz
Gaz,
running around
what the
trying to find something to
What's
kill
that
from
mean?
this building.
I want to wait until I
Did
get
Gaz
to
just get shot? Is Gaz getting shot at right now by a scav, or is that fighting over there in the night buildings?
Sounds like it's in the night buildings. He's just there on the roof. There you go, Gaz.
There you go, Gaz.
Got him.
Picking up that beautiful headshot, trying to find who he was shooting at across the way, getting eyes. Now, this is the question, and this is what we've seen before in the NA with Riz, where he was being shot at, Rizzle was being shot at and said, hey, I'm going to run to this other building, stop shooting at me for a second so I can kill you from this building to get my bonus points. Do we see Gaz do that? Doesn't look like he
I hope
is.
so. He is relocating right now. I think that's the smart play. It takes a special type of player to sort of pull that off because you need to be brave. You need to know when to time your run. You need to try and get angles where the guy can't hit you. But if you want to maximize your points, you need to get kills in every building, and that's the big moves you got to make. And it looks like, yeah, there we go.
That
He's on the roof.
parkour, Gaz. This is map knowledge right here, chat. This right here, he almost, because of his strength being high, he almost threw himself over, but that is map knowledge.
Almost put too much
Understanding
juice
where
in the
you can
chat.
jump up and where you can maneuver on these
Almost.
maps. Because say if somebody was up
Almost.
top,
Fuck
they
all the
would
scouts,
expect
chat.
you to come through the stairs. They wouldn't expect you to come from that. This is a great way for every player to learn new locations.
Players, guys.
Making
Really
me look
smart.
bad, V. Making me look
Alright,
bad.
players.
Meanwhile, Needy looks like he's
See,
in
like,
the
my
train
legs
station
are
right now,
different
looking for that
entities in my
elusive kill that he
controller.
needs.
Yeah, play controller.
How many buildings can we get
Fuck
a
down
get
there.
a verification
Fuck
from
that.
Battle
It's
Mods? How
legit.
many buildings does Needy need left for bonus points? Because I'm very curious.
We got a port, we got king, we got pawn, we need school. Oh, if we get one here, we don't need school, right? Yeah, that's correct.
Needy hurting his legs.
You know there were players of
So it looks like
I don't
this
know whether
may
they're
be
best
the
scouts or
last
players
building
actually
that Needy
comes to me right now.
needs for bonus
Brook,
points.
yeah.
I don't really want to.
Trying to look for
scavs
scavs that player scavs that may have spawned in anything,
let's
because
not
that
sit with
anything
PMC,
counts,
like
not
a
just
million
PMCs,
PMCs
scavs
to
or
I want to
PMCs.
also extract.
Needy needs Rook. Gotcha. Thank you so much for that, Dave. Thank you. Thank you, Philbo.
Big shout out to the battle mods in chat, guys. For
Huge
hooking us
shout
up
out.
with that info as well.
Oh, picking it up right there. Beautiful shot. Dropped him.
Oof.
Needy is on fire. Now, I mean, Needy, you still have how long? What do you do now? Jeepo, what would you do in this situation? You're done. You've got your bonus points for the most part.
Take our
Do you
time.
say, hey,
We're gonna
I'm just gonna
night.
play my game. I'm gonna do what I want to do now.
We'll go and hit dome.
I'm talking
and
to
then
my
we're just
battle
trying-
mods first and foremost is what I'm doing.
scouts,
I'm
I
talking to
suppose.
my battle mods. I'm seeing, just confirming that
Run
we've
the
got
timer,
everything
hit
done
the
that we
buzzer.
can do. And then I'm starting to think about how do we extract with the most points. Of course, that means you hit that buzzer, buckle in, chat, ready your ears, and you go for those bonus extract points. I think that's the play.
I think Needy
I
hears
feel like
something.
hanging around. He does, yeah.
Oh, he knows where the person's at. He's like, oh, he's wood. He's in that building. I hear him.
Harry Potter building.
Not coming in that way. Wait, no, I gotta come
Wait,
in this
what?
way now.
Harry Potter building?
Have you not? What do you guys call this? We call this the Harry Potter building. I have no idea why. By the way,
I call it a tower. I call it the
it's
tower
that
in the
too.
middle. Like,
Don't
I'm trying
judge
to
my
figure out
call
the
outs.
Harry Potter. I'm not. I like it.
Wizard Tower.
I'm just trying to understand
There we
it. Oh, Gazm going ahead and picking up trying to get some more kills inside
I don't know
of
if
this
he made
night
that
building.
shot. I don't know if he landed that. I don't think he did.
He did.
Boy's
We
still
hear
alive in
more
here.
shots. Oh, you saw him.
Is this Gluey? Is this Gluhar guards?
This might be
This is
Gluhar and the boys.
This could be huge. This could be huge. He could get those. He could get those bonus points. That grenade might have just picked this one off as well.
I think kill you, yeah.
Oh,
That's
there's a
Claire.
PNC right there.
Killed by
Doesn't
a
look like
guard,
he
though,
got him.
not his kill.
Yeah.
Killed.
That scav I just killed there, does that count? Because it's inside.
Yes, it does.
Yeah? Sick.
It's inside or outside.
So he is done. He's saying, "Yep, we got our points. Let's get out of here. Move to a new building." Great call from
Absolutely.
Gas, saying, "I don't need to stick I don't need to stick around. I got my points from this building. Going ahead and moving out."
All right.
Right, and he knows there may be more AI in that building. If he needs to come back later, he can. He can maybe even try and shoot them from his new location.
Yeah.
Harry Potter, because you can go underneath the stairs.
Because it looks like
it
a
looks like a
wizard hat is
wizard's-
what I'm getting.
Nobody's giving me a straight answer. You guys are all saying different things.
I like
in
all
chat.
those answers. I like
I
all
do
those
too.
answers because they're backing me up. So well done, chat. I
Yeah.
appreciate the support.
I am totally down with dubbing that as Harry Potter building. So it's a very easy call out to say Harry Potter, and you know where to look now, chat. All right, Harry Potter.
No, you're forcing
This
my
is an
hand.
educational stream, everybody.
It's all your fault, babe.
So Needy's
got
still
one
holding
night
that angle. He knows there's someone in there. He doesn't want to push that. It's a tough place to push from here because there's so much dead ground between the train and that location. The only alternative is to try and get at it from underneath, but again, he has no way of getting there without being spotted. And he needs to think about extracting. How does he do it?
He also needs to heal those legs. You can tell that he's got a little bit of red damage on the legs from the fall. He has not healed that up. That, you know, he's very much aware though that he's getting this grenade by Gaz, I believe.
What's your time left?
Oh yeah, Gaz hears glass. He knows
there's
somebody is
somebody here.
on the back side.
Inside now?
By, like, killing scavs and stuff.
Are they camping extract or are they just trying to leave?
Every time
That's
I
a
do
good
that,
question
it's
because
more,
either way, if they're trying to leave, he does not want to let that happen. He wants to pick up his points from this building, and the best way to do that is to get aggressive.
None of them have looted my boy up top.
Yeah, he needs to make the play here for the points. There's not many things left alive on this map.
I
hear
I
him still
don't like
moving.
how
You can hear him.
passive.
Waters.
Yeah,
Always blame Waters.
he's still playing exceptionally passive though here. Oh,
There he is.
good
There he is.
stuff. Oh, beautiful.
This guy heard him. This guy heard him and made the play. He was a DVL sniper boy. He was going to sit on that tower, use that DVL. That was a great kill.
Using a
And good
MP5.
as well. Those MP5, dude. That's a scary gun up close.
It is an exceptionally scary gun, very cheap to buy and build out, and running AP or 7M31 in it makes it absolutely devastating because it has
Hey, you're not my friend
practically
anymore.
zero recoil.
Check down here, chat.
Absolutely. I recommend it to everybody who's starting out with the game. Grab an MP5, stick some cheap ammo in it, and shoot them in the face. It's very fun and very easy to use. And very cheap.
Yep. It's one of
That's
those
the
weapons
kill
that
he
you
needed.
100%. Yep, that's the kill he needed from that building.
Probably should have
And it
started
is
with train
Didi
now that
going
you got that
ahead and
right.
saying, nope, let's hit the button and let's get out. Okay, let me ask
Was
you
that
this.
it? That was over there,
Didi
then?
has a lot of stuff on him. A
I
lot.
was just gonna say, he's fat.
Does he need
I don't know if I'd be running to extract with that
This
fat
dude's
loot.
still here?
I'd be not worrying about the loot. I'd be getting the hell out with my bonus points. I'd be doing every drug in my booty. All those mules, all those SJ6s I'd be carrying, I'd be popping them right now to run. I wouldn't be worrying so much about the loot.
What is he? What did he find
That's
there?
just an
He's
ASA.
still looting on his way out. Yep, he's still grabbing loot. Now remember, they're only allowed 2 stems, so Mule SJ, like that. Oh, Nini getting lit up. He just took a round to the head.
Helmet.
Helmet save lives, chat.
Ooh, that's a couple of times tonight alone we've seen helmets come up clutch for our competitors. Now, what was that? Does he want to pick this fight? Does he want to leave? He needs to secure his extract here. So
he's pushing. He's trying to find who shot him. I don't know if I agree with that. I would say, nah, I'm good. He does want the points. He does understand that he is, if he has paid attention, which it does seem like he has, that he is pretty low on the board. So he does seem like he wants to pick up as many points to try to get that wild card secure. But I don't like this. I don't know if I agree with this. The 10 bonus or the double bonus points is worth more to me than the possibility of death and losing points here.
I don't like it, but I kind of agree with his attitude here. He needs to secure his way to the K buildings, which it looks like where he's trying to go. So he needs to check if this guy can see him on the way. He's so exposed right now. Hopefully this guy was not in that building. If he was, Needy could be in a spot of bother here. I like where he's going though. Get buildings in between them. It's a very, very precarious position to be in right now.
What am I doing?
Yeah, it looks like that player took a cheeky shot at Needy. Needy didn't drop, and maybe it was a player scav and just decided, this might not be for me. I don't think I want to do this, and decided to leave it be or just tried to hide up.
I'd put my money on a player scav, probably using not great ammo, which is why the helmet did such a good job of bouncing it. He didn't lose a limb. He doesn't look like he's too much worse for wear. So I suspect player scav who just took an opportunistic shot at him. He might not want to push a fully geared PMC on reserve because there's so much loot lying around. He can still make money.
Make sure if you're in chat, go ahead and click on that current poll. We want to know, do you wear helmets or not? I want to see what everybody says. I'm a helmet user, Jeepo. What about you?
Helmet user, phrasing. Definitely wear a helmet in Tarkov. Not a big fan of Altons unless I'm in factory. I very much believe in the audio, even when it occasionally works in Tarkov, being very important. But yeah, helmets for sure.
This is very scary right now where Needy is because we've seen so many people get lit up here at this extract. Be impatient, just waiting. 5 seconds left. This is the longest extract ever when you're in this situation. And he is out. Beautiful run from Needy. Chat, go show Needy some love. Get some hype in the chat. Show him that was absolutely amazing. And he owned that map right now. Go show him some love, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely great raid from Needy. Best raid of the night for him. Huge domination on reserve. Is it too little too late? We'll find out soon, but he should be very proud of that raid.
All right, we got Gaz right now, still just hanging out, doing his thing. He is the one that we know is closest to the points leader. He has the best opportunity. So this is his match now. This is everything's on him. What's he gonna do? Let's see. Very smart of him to go ahead and check these B buildings. We know that people like to go in there because there are 2 marked circles. A lot of player scavs like to hang out over there trying to pick up anything that they can grab. So very, very smart. And 79% of the poll has said, yes, they wear helmets, Jeepo.
I don't want to expose myself too much yet.
That's right, guys. Practice safe helmet use.
We can probably get an
Big fan.
idea, right?
Big fan.
Now, Jeepo, what helmet is your go-to helmet if you don't like Altons and things like that? So what is your go-to helmet?
I like the Expo.
Yes, I'm getting shot at. Sorry, we'll come back to that. Somebody sees him through those windows. Is it a scav?
I don't see you.
Yeah, oh, it's a scav. Down low to the right. We saw the muzzle flash near the close tanker.
Gonna push out.
Where is he, chat?
Get that zoom level. There you go.
Scav, right? He's gonna dome me. I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah, don't.
He is gonna dome
Don't
him.
repeat. Don't repeat the same angle, please, guys. Please.
So back to your question about helmets. I'm a big believer in exfils. If I have to wear a face shield, which I prefer not to, my go-to is bastions with slap plate. I've had a bastion with slap plate bounce 2 M61 rounds in the same raid. So that was it for me. I was like, you're the one. You're the one. So she's my go-to.
Now, I did have somebody survive a
Oh, fuck,
M61
okay.
round
I'm strong.
because his Keck helmet deflected it. The tier 1 high ricochet helmet deflected my
hardly
M61
missed it.
round, and it took me a moment to
Right,
realize he
now
was
that-
still
like, normally
alive.
What happens, right? There's like a million of them out
I
there.
have
And what
I
you
have
do?
bounced rounds off that helmet as a scav more than once. It's because it has the high ricochet chance, and I think Jesse Kazam did a great video
didn't
on
land on the
helmets
top,
and the
man.
ricochet chance and how important that is
Oh.
versus the tier.
Awkward.
Definitely worth checking out. It's a great video. I don't necessarily agree with how the helmets are implemented in the game in that way. Airsoft helmets shouldn't be bouncing
Yeah, he's in the
308
bushes.
rounds.
Which one?
But hey, wear it while the getting's good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that becomes one of those arguments that we run into so many times because helmets do act differently than they do IRL. But it becomes the situation where does
missed that.
it
There he
make
is.
oh getting that
Can I
getting
get
that
the
oh you
shot?
saw him
Oh,
There's that.
his,
Oh, he's coming back. He's
There's
coming
that
back.
pom
What's he
pom
doing?
hat.
yep. Oh,
For all
there
you
go.
hat memers out there, this is why camouflage is important.
But if like
He's
if the
lost,
if the
huh?
helmets
Yeah,
didn't reflect ammo, would people wear them and it would just be a useless item in the game? Oh, come on, you got
I
this.
like that they
Come on.
work how they
What
do.
the fuck? Where'd he go?
There he is. There's your shot. Take it.
Oh,
yes.
beautiful! Picked it up.
GG.
Very
Good
nice,
shot,
guys.
A quick double tap with the M61 or M whatever he's firing out of that
All right,
308.
now
Perfect shooting.
Oh, look at that! Oh, look at that! No, we're not ready.
Ah,
So we still got 45 minutes.
interesting.
We'll
He
push the
needs a
button
big
again.
raid to get into first place. Do you
really
wait
does.
on whoever hit that button, come towards the extract
I'd like
and
to
kill
get the
them,
extract
and then go
bonus,
do your
right?
own extract?
Well, because you have to go over there, even if it's going. I mean, I guess you could wait for them. More than likely, it's a player scav hitting the button at this time in the raid, trying to just say, "Hey, I'm going to spawn some raiders in to get some
Okay,
gear,"
Tom, I'm
because we
trying
see
to-
that so many times. I don't know. I mean, how many buildings
Hey,
can we get
sugar.
confirmation
Ooh,
on how many
coffee.
buildings Gaz still has?
biscuits.
Because that would be my biggest
this
thing. Is
thing
if
is
I'm
great.
Gaz and I know I still need buildings, I'm just going to move to those buildings to pick up kills
Because I
because
need the
I want the
sugar.
bonus points. That's all I care about.
Absolutely. Miss Lizard coming in with the comment, Mando helmet, best helmet,
Hey,
and I tend to agree. You can fit a
disrupting me with your
torch.
rugged good
You can
looks.
fit a light to the side of the
Thanks.
Mando helmet, which
Love
makes it
you.
even more badass, by the way. Chat, if you didn't know that. He finished his
I always make
last
time for the
building
missus,
for
remember
extra
that.
points, so he's maxed out
Happy
on
wife,
that
happy
now.
life.
Thank you, Bush.
Yep.
The
Thank you so
confirmation.
much. I
And then
appreciate
she
that,
pats me
Boosh.
like a dog. Right.
Walker, the day I can wear the USAC hat backwards is the day I'll start wearing it in every raid. You can quote me on that.
So he's just saying, nope, not time to leave. I'm just gonna hang out. I'm gonna
Yeah,
try to
but
pick
it's
up as
some
many
raiders from
points as I
Where's the
can.
cheeky fucking scav, though,
I
shooting
mean, you got bonus points. You've
Yeah.
got all the bonus points. You've hit every single building. Cheapo, do you just say no? It's time to leave, or I mean, he was late to the party, but he's already knocked out all of his bonus
him?
points
Oh, might be able to get in.
way earlier than most of the
Maybe
most
can I-
competitors I've ever seen do
Maybe,
this tournament.
Maybe not.
He did. He's been very efficient, very quick. He's moved around the map well. I mean, like you say, he needs to go back and hit that button. Either way. So maybe the play is move that way. If you can pick up a bonus point or two on a scab, great. Just get out, secure those bonus extracts. I think that's probably the best thing he can do. He must have some idea in his own mind how many points he has.
Oh.
There's a player right there, a scab. Good
Oh
shot.
no, that was
There
an
you go.
AI.
He must have
that was,
some.
I think that was an AI scav.
Eat the bullet and die.
It was
Thanks.
for sure. He must know he's doing okay here. He must know he's in with a chance of taking first place.
Yep. Still hearing the alarm going, saying, nah, I'm okay. Going to go ahead and move around, just kind of play his game. I like this. I like this play style, but it also makes me a little nervous because it is reserve. This is a scav map. No matter what anybody says, this is a scav map. They own it. They have the most
Absolutely.
extracts. They spawn in super early. They spawn in waves and waves and
You know what I should have
waves.
done? I should have hit that
And
guy's MP5.
scavs have no fear. They
Fucking
don't
scavs are
have
gonna
a
get
life.
around and wreck
It's
me.
not like they're going to lose anything
That was a
really.
stupid mistake.
So
Yeah.
it makes
They
me
don't
very
have
nervous.
a life. Ouch.
You know what I mean?
Painful, my purse stab. I know what you mean. I heard it. Cancelled. You're cancelled, dude. That was too topical. So I know what you mean. This is one of the reasons I'm not a huge fan of reserve right now. I just feel like the benefits for playing there as a PMC are not there, whereas you can just stab in and wreck somebody's day. Bush, I appreciate the clip. It is sad that you take the ramblings of a drunken Irishman as true, and now chat's going to hold me to that forever, and that's going to suck. But thanks for the clip, Bush.
Oh. Scavs have families too.
Oh,
you're not
there
wrong.
We go. We heard it. We heard it there. There's a guy running across the road. Two guys.
Team of two. Chickies. That's a big blackjack. Come on, drop him. Oh, that's an Alton on.
Oh, I'm feeling it.
Did he zero his rifle? I'm not sure he had the right range on that.
No.
He was a little late to see him. He didn't see them cross the first half of the road. They were there, but his eyes were looking at the other side of the screen, so he was a little late to pull that around.
Maybe we killed one. Maybe we didn't.
I doubt very much that those guys are going to push towards him. They're moving to extract right now.
They are 100% moving to that extract.
Yeah, he needs to decide, is he going to go over to the button, or is he going to chase them down and come back? And I'm not sure what he's decided yet. I think they were low as well.
How much time does he have left?
Phaser A check.
Can we get a confirmation of how much time's left for Gaz?
We might have to get a bite to eat. We might have to pop into underground school.
So we're hearing 10-15 minutes left for Gaz. So he has some time left in this raid. He certainly could max that score out a little bit more. Another player, another couple of scavs. Those are extra points every time. Not to be sniffed at when it's this close. How many times, Fluffy, how many times have we seen this last map be the decider by 1 or 2 points?
Oh, so many times. I mean, we keep going back to the NA finals where Sheaf came from 4th all the way to 2nd because of this map. Oh, deciding to loot. Is he low on... He's just getting some food. Yeah, there you go. Get some drink. Have a little snack.
Price is pretty good.
Not a coffee fan, as we can see. I guess I'm judging him a little bit on that, but that's okay.
We got this. We got this. I'm gonna just do my thing.
I'm functioning.
That's right. Just do your thing, Gaz. Just do your thing. You do you, buddy.
They might not be expecting a thing. We check for it.
So, if I'm not wrong here, I think he's doing a phased array loot run at this point, which, you know, that's to be commended. Those aren't cheap. I'll give him that.
No chat.
I mean, last time I checked, phase arrays were going for about 3 mil. Or 3... Yeah, 3 mil.
Yeah, they're pretty expensive right now. Once they changed it so that you needed those in your hideout, and so many more of them in your hideout, the price went through the roof.
Yeah, and they've always been expensive, but the fact that they are way outside of LEDX range for cost is amazing to me. Oh, his butt going ahead and knocking that glass out as he jumped up there. Doing the cheeky little spot on top of this. I like it. He's looking for those thick boys. He's looking for the guys that he shot at, saying, "Hey, are you guys still around over here? Can I get another shot in on you?" I
suspect they've gone. I would be surprised if they're taking suppressed rounds from a long way away. They can't pinpoint where those are coming from. Probably 1 or 2 might have hit. It looked like he was hitting low. He might have hit legs. I'd be very surprised if they stuck around. I would, if it's me and I got full blackjacks, I'm out. I am out.
Thank you so much for that, Blood Killer, letting us know that aces are 2 mil at the moment. So picking up as exactly what Miss Lizard said, the NA champion, she knows best. This is not a cheap tournament to be in. You're running very expensive gear, so trying to recuperate some of those lost costs is not a bad thing to do.
Absolutely, millions of rubles go into this, millions per competitor. So you certainly, if you guys are competing in this or you want to apply, and we do encourage everybody who streams to think about applying when Evasion comes back around for your region, solo or duo or trios. Get saving your cash, guys. You're gonna need that in-game cash. You're gonna need those rubles.
Exactly. We still have the Oceana coming up, and then we will have duos and trios. So super excited about all of the continued competitions that we have going forward this year. The Evasion team has worked tremendously hard to do these tournaments and put on a just outstanding show for everyone.
Absolutely. Sigma does an outstanding job organizing everything and everybody. There's 30 people, chat, around 30 people working for Evasion. It is insane, the organization that goes into this. Every single one of these streamers gets reviewed. They get hand-picked. Hundreds and hundreds of applicants per region. We have prize money now. There is, you know, this is a big deal. This is definitely the premier competition in Tarkov, particularly when it comes to squad work. I love the squad stuff. No other competition in Tarkov makes squads work.
Got somebody? Is that a scav?
Maybe we missed all the shots.
Oh, I think I saw movement to the right. It's hard to say, though. Didn't look like he actually dropped him with that second shot. Maybe he did.
Really difficult to see if that guy kept going off to the right there. He was strafing right. I'm suspecting that was probably AI of some description. But really hard to tell right now.
The way he was running and the way he was healing, it definitely may have been a PMC or a scav player.
And then maybe we get the extract, maybe we don't.
Oh.
Starting to think about extract here. This is when the doubt starts to creep into your mind when you start thinking about leaving. How do I get out of this?
He's very worried because it does seem like a lot of players are hanging around Hermetic for him. He's saying maybe we get out, maybe we hit the button, maybe we don't. I don't really notice a lot of players ever like congregating here a lot towards the end of the raids because most of the raiders have spawned in. Scav boss is dead. You'll get some scavs trying to loot up gear and run away. It's normally one or two, and we should start hearing a lot of that scav on scav violence that we're so used to hearing on reserve.
Absolutely. I find if you hang around the K buildings as a player late in the raid, you're going to get swarmed by scavs. It's not a very fun place to be this late. If you can get out at any other location, then I certainly encourage it. I know for me personally, and a lot of people I run with, we don't really run reserve that much until we have our Red Rebels. Right. And even then, you know, you might take D2, you might go Hermetic. It's rare that you go train, and if you have to, it's never first choice. So it's a very difficult place to get out from, and he's got to go there.
And without Red Rebel, I mean, honestly, Red Rebel is one of the most secure extracts for PMCs. Hermetic is just a super dangerous place. Like, nobody wants to do this. As soon as you hit that button, you're alerting the dinner bell. You're saying, hey, come eat me. I'm going towards extract. You know what I'm doing. I'm either going towards extract or I'm going for raiders. But that's why we do it to them. It's entertaining for all of you.
Either way. Even if there's raiders there, that's still loot. So everybody knows that there's money on the ground, as it were. It's worth a look. This is certainly adds to the tension a little bit, these bonus points trying to get out. So, Fluffy, talking about Red Rebels, what's your thoughts on adding Red Rebel extracts to other maps? For example, Shoreline, of course, we have Rock Passage. It makes sense to me that is a Red Rebel extract. That should be a Red Rebel extract that still only is turned on in certain raids. But I love the idea of that being more useful. What do you think?
I will say this, and it's actually funny that you bring this question up because we were just talking about this on stream yesterday while doing the guide, or the day before, that it only makes sense. It is a Red Rebel extract from reserve to that location on Shoreline because those maps, you know, are technically connected. Why isn't it a Red Rebel extract the other way around? And I do think it should be up all the time. But I think it needs to be a little bit more dangerous. I think we need to see scavs patrolling it more. I think we need to see more over there besides right at the checkpoint. But it 100% should be a Red Rebel extract that is up all the time. I don't understand why it's not. They are connected in the way the maps work. So yes, it should be 100% a Red Rebel extract.
I suspect they'll do that in the future. I like the idea with more scavs. I mean, obviously, we know there are a few issues currently with scav spawns and whatnot. I like the idea of more scavs in set areas and dynamic scav spawns. I think never knowing where they're going to be in each raid, you know, you can't run into Shoreline and run a tried and true route just to get scavs. I think that would be great.
Yep.
So far, Gaz, very cautious.
Oh, Gaz hearing something. Something scav shooting at him. Looks like an AI scav, but you never can be too safe because look at that. Good knowledge knowing he can
firing
shoot
right
through
the box. Yeah.
And oh,
Ooh, shotgun. Is that a shotgun?
that sounded like it came from inside a building.
Yeah,
Yeah,
relocating while he can. Good move. Yeah, Sigma, he's got the gamer lead and he is properly leaning into his monitor now, guys. The pressure is starting to show a little bit. He wants this. He needs to get out of here. He knows.
And we could tell by the way that those shots were echoing that those shots were coming from inside of some building. What building, we're not quite sure. He thinks it's over here at the K buildings. To me, it sounded more like the night buildings, but he's in the game. He knows better than we do. We're just hearing an afterthought of the sound.
Absolutely.
And looks like we have just under 14 minutes remaining for Gaz right now. Probably down to 12. Not much time left.
He's still aggressively running around. He's not shirking away from this. He needs to start thinking about hitting that buzzer, calling that dinner bell.
And that's exactly what it looks like. Well, oh, he's getting stamina back. He's going to get into a safe position. Double check for scavs over here, but it does look like he's maybe making his way over there now.
I think he's going to go underground and try and make his way over. This is a bold play. Unless he's deciding to try and farm some raiders.
Coming from this direction also...
Maximize.
Yeah, but coming from this direction also, Jeepo, you have that water right there, so you're making a lot of noise. If there's any player scavs down here, they're going to know where that water is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a bold... There's something.
Well, there's...
Extra point right there. Okay.
So... Definitely, he's picked up quite a lot of scav kills. Doesn't look like he's picked up as many PMC kills, so he is maybe worried about if there's PMC still on the map. Are they over there at the extract? But does he have enough points to actually take the lead? Because if he doesn't have enough points to take the lead, you know, he doesn't have enough points to be the wild card. So in his head, there's so much going on right now that he's trying to play through and trying to think out so many different scenarios. We all do this all the time where we're sitting there going, well, okay, this scenario, this scenario, this scenario. So he is definitely doing it. I think he might be getting a little too worried. Oh.
Fat fingers. My bad.
Oh, he shot himself.
Like
I thought he got shot at.
We've all done that. We've all done that. We have a new poll up, chat. Go have a look. Do you have a gamer leaning when playing Tarkov? I know I do. It's embarrassing. Sometimes I have a real lean into my 32-inch monitors. If it's not big enough, I go closer. I gotta get closer sometimes, chat. What about you guys? I actually quite like his approach here. He's very indirect about how he gets to this button. He's clearing all sorts of angles that people sort of neglect. When they start thinking about extract, they just get this one-track mind. I quite like how he's doing this.
He's clearing every building. He's... I know, I like that he's doing this. I like that he's being methodical in it, and I get it, but I think that he's doing it because he's afraid he doesn't have enough points. He's not doing it for tactical oh! In the window.
Ooh,
no. You need to reposition. He clicked. Yeah, we're talking about late rate scavs. Yeah. Oh, I don't like this, Jeepo. I don't like any of this.
I'd be leaving this raid.
Yeah,
I would not be. He's still bleeding. It's only a light bleed, so it's not too bad. But I would not be hanging around here.
Dying in the corner.
Oh gosh.
There you go.
Whew. Going ahead and stopping the bleed now, healing up. I like the use of the Grizzly here. Grizzlies are exceptionally expensive now on the flea market. They are not. At early wipe, they were so cheap. Nobody was really running them. I swore by them, but now for the cost, I just don't know if they're worth it anymore.
Yeah, that grizzly meta has come and gone a little bit. I think it's nice to have one item that does so much. I with all the heavy bleeding and things, it certainly made sense. But right now, for the cost, it just doesn't seem to make sense anymore. You can buy individual items. You know, you can pick and choose what you need. It actually saves you money in the long run doing it that way. I use grizzlies to heal when I'm out of raid exclusively.
So Gaz is not going to go ahead and heal all the way up. He's going to go ahead and press the button. Do you agree with this? Because this is going to get really dicey running over here to this button, and not having full health kind of worries me a little bit.
All right, he seems to be moving towards that button now. So let's see. He's going to give that a hit.
You're going to heal up in here, guys, I hope. Fully. Did he pop a, did he pop a stim?
I don't know. He must have. He certainly isn't healing up his chest. I don't see any healing points in the bottom right either. He was getting his stamina back, having a little drink, and now he's off running. Of course, everybody on the map has heard that button being hit. So he's not running down the road. Smart move.
So he did pop a Propitol, so that's why he's not worried about healing himself up. He's going to go ahead and let that Propitol do its job. Go ahead and let it heal himself up. So... And I like the route that he's taking here. He's taking a scenic route around to get to extract. So many times people hit that button and go straight through the Queen building over there, or King building. I can never remember which one's down low. Go straight through that, go straight through the K building, straight to Hermetic. Whereas if you went around and spent a little bit more time, you have 5 minutes, you know, spend a little bit more time going around, clearing it, making sure you can get there, making sure raiders haven't spawned in on it. I like this move from Gaz.
As you can see, his bleed just reopened because he's sprinting around. But I agree, like, a lot of players don't realize that this button goes on forever, guys. 5 minutes is a long time to try and extract. You don't need to make a straight line to the extract. You're just making yourself an easy ambush. As you can see, he made that scenic route. Route, not route. I don't know what route is, but I'll take your word for it. But he's going the long way around here, and it's certainly working for him so far. He's not had any trouble up to this point.
Guys, just being very smart, making his way around, doing this perfectly. I like it.
He heard metal on his left. I heard a few steps as well, like something hitting a plank of metal, or hitting a sheet of metal. Sorry. So interesting, but he's not willing to push it. Now that he's got the extract on his mind, he's firmly focusing on that. It seems he's clearing his corners, looking for those campers, checking that truck. That truck right there seems to be being used a lot. And now we got the longest 16 seconds in the world to get out. So Fluffy, how do you think he did? What's going through your mind right now if you're a Gaz?
He's worried, like, and it's understandable that Gaz is worried at this moment. Gaz is 100% in the situation of, hey, I know I didn't get a lot of PMC kills. I did get a lot of scav kills. I'm worried. But he's also confident because he knows that, hey, I put up the best that I could do. I did everything that I could. It was the best game that I could play. So I think he's happy with his overall showing. He got all of his bonus points. He's just going to do him.
Yeah, I agree. I think he played his own game there. You know, we saw him run around. It was certainly I was starting to get nervous when he decided, you know, he's going to go and clear X building for the 14th time this raid. But, you know, he's racking up those points. He's getting those player kills. He's getting those scav kills. That's a point per scav. These things are going to add up. I have no idea the scores yet, chat. We genuinely don't know. We're waiting just like you are. But I am wondering.
I'm wondering. I can't wait to see what is going to happen after that amazing last raid, seeing where these scoreboards are going to shift. I can't wait. So we're going to go ahead and let all of our battle mods get those points tallied up. We'll get all of that updated for you shortly. We're going to take a short commercial break while we do that, and we will be back. Thank you so much, guys. And welcome back, everyone, from that amazing commercial. Jeepo, I don't know about you, but I am excited to see what happened and where everybody has finished out. What about you, buddy?
Yeah, absolutely. What a great final raid. Everybody having a hell of a raid. That was Needy with the the massive just dominating on the map. Gaz running around getting every point he could from that. Jez pulling some lovely kills out. That was just a fantastic way to end this to end today's game. So I think this is going to be close. I think we're going to see some really good top scores coming out of that reserve raid in particular. I can't wait to see.
Yep. Well, Jeepo, let's go ahead and let's reveal our fourth place. Go ahead and take it away. Who is our fourth place?
Yeah, so I'm just having a look. In fourth place, it is Jez, guys. Jez coming in fourth place with 59 points. Unfortunately, he fell early to some of the other competitors in tonight's competition in a lot of the maps, but he had a really strong finish on Resort, bringing him up to a good, absolutely respectable 59 points. He also had that really nice double kill on Shoreline as well. So he had a good competition, guys. So big shout out to Jez for his fourth place finish. Absolutely.
Yep. And it looks like in third place, we were looking at Needy Beach coming in with 72 points. He was very unlucky and didn't manage to extract on any of the live maps, but pulled it back with a phenomenal reserve run. I mean, he hit 6 PMC kills and a map score of over 50, which is our fourth highest score for this season so far. Absolutely just amazing run from Needy. Couldn't have asked for a better reserve map. All right, Jeepo, go ahead and let us know who's the second place.
Second place, guys. Second place coming in with 77 points is Dex. Dex in second. He had strong finishes on Woods and strong finish on Interchange. Taking out competitors really early, helped him slingshot his way up into that early first place lead after he had a mediocre labs raid. He only scored a few points, but he had a very unfortunate, very unlucky start to his reserve, meant he didn't have a chance, dying within 30 seconds of the start. He didn't have a chance to try and extend that lead, which made it all to play for with Gaz right on his heels, which means over to you, Fluffy, in first place.
Yeah, Gaz is our winner. Gaz has shown us all yet again that it's not over till it's over. Going into reserve in third place, he played it very cautious and had a great chance to show his map knowledge. He secured the first place spot with a 25-point lead over Dex. And that's what we have said so many times about Reserve. It is an amazing map to get so many points, and Gaz showed us that. We're actually going to join. We've got Gaz with us right now. We're going to go ahead and hop in and talk to Gaz about his win. Hey, what's going on? How are you doing, buddy? Hey, mate. How are you today? How are you feeling after coming back from third place to take the win and secure your place in the semifinals?
Well, I was just having fun, you know, and I didn't know where I was placing, but it was great.
That was a fantastic final raid. It must have been playing mind games with you. Did you know at any point that Dex had went down early in that raid, and did it change how you played that final map?
I totally ignored everything.
Very nice. Yeah, and that's what we had talked about a lot was, you know, we probably didn't know if you knew or not, and it was interesting to see. Now you did seem a little cautious towards the end, like you stayed in the map a very long time. Were you afraid you didn't have enough points? What was going through your head at the end of there?
I got flatlined and interchanged really quickly, so I didn't really know how many points I had. So I was there, and then Woods also didn't extract. And I just wanted to get as many points as I could, to be fair.
Gotcha. Very nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done, dude. That was a fantastic reserve raid. Really had me clenching a few moments. I was like, just please leave. Don't get killed on your way to extract here. Just get out. But you really pulled that off the bag. And of course, now you're through to that next match, that semi-final. And of course, you were very close in score, coming in very similar score to yesterday's winner as well. So you guys are going to be very evenly matched. So I'm very excited to see how you do.
Nice. Man, it was so good. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no, thank you, man. You put on an amazing show for everybody. And speaking of putting on an amazing show for everybody, you seemed like you had a lot of energy. Where can people find you? Shout out anything that you want to shout out. This is your moment to shine, Gas.
You can catch me on Esgasm on Twitch, Mondays through Wednesdays, all day. Fridays through Sundays, all day.
Perfect. Sounds great, man. We'll definitely come and check you out. It has been absolutely entertaining to watch you. You have put on an amazing show. Seriously, thank you so much. And I can't wait to watch you in the semifinals. It's going to be an amazing event.
Dudes, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Excellent. Well done, my friend. And so, everybody, of course, we still have tomorrow's event coming right up as well. We have Potato as well. Same time tomorrow night, guys. Be there. We want to see who gets through from Group C. And a big, huge thank you to all the battle mods, guys. It's not possible to run events like this without the massive level of organization that goes in behind it. So massive shout out to Sigma, all the battle mods, all the team here. And of course, Fluffy, do you want to remind everybody the website?
Yes, and please go make sure you check out the evasion.gg website. So much amazing information about what happens here at Evasion each and every weekend. You can find information about the competitive team. You can find information about the merch store, where you can find some amazing merch that Jeepo can show off real quick. Show that shirt off, Jeepo. There we go. Beautiful Evasion shirt. Find a lot of the great articles of clothing every single week. There's just amazing stuff. I really am going to get a hat, Jeepo. I'm going to get a hat. I can't wait. It's great stuff. It really is.
I recommend plus 15% survival rate when wearing Evasion t-shirts, guys. And a huge shout out to all the subs, all the supporters of the channel, everybody that uses their Prime subs here at Evasion. You know, this helps cover the cost of the trophies, the graphics, the prize money, the production software. As you can see, the production of Evasion has massively went through the roof this year. All the merch, the website, all the costs. It wouldn't be possible without all the supporters. So thank you so much, guys. It really means a lot to the channel.
Exactly. And that's the entire thing about the Evasion team. The Evasion team puts this on every single week for you, because you are what we're here for. We love to entertain you. Thank you, the viewer. Thank you, the competitors. Thank you, Evasion, for everything. And don't forget to go check out the Evasion Twitter giveaway that's going on right now. Quote a tweet, leave a comment for a chance to win a standard EFT account. Ends tomorrow night. So you want to get those things in. So far, my favorite one is I dropped my LEDX, help me find it. That one is so far my favorite, but I think that some people out in chat can do better. So I want to see what you guys come up with. Get over there, hit them up, evasion_GG on Twitter.
Absolutely. Go get it, guys.
Yeah.
And with that all said, I think we are planning to host Dax.
We are
staying on.
We are planning to host Dex. We are going to go show him some love. It does look like our winner is going to call it for the night. Jeepo, tell everybody about you. Where can we find you each and every week?
Each and every week, each and every day at the minute, unfortunately. I am Jeepo TV, guys, on Twitch. You can find me there. I stream UK times, but usually start around 6 p.m. in the UK. And I personally like running duos and above, so squads are really where my strong point is. So come on, say hi. Appreciate you guys coming over. And what about you, Fluffy? Where do the guys find you?
And you guys can find me at twitch.tv/unfluffybunny every single day for the most part, usually around 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. EST. So hopefully I will see you guys all there. Thank you guys so much. Let's go show some love over to Dex, guys. Get a huge shout out. Rain those let's goes. Hype in the channel. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night.